Hey everyone, and welcome to the Nerd Room, where we talk all things comics and movies. This is episode number 10. We're discussing our Oscar predictions. I'm one of your hosts, Tim.
I'm Sunjay.
And I'm Troy.
Welcome to episode 10, The Dark World. I didn't throw in, a sub-name last time, so I thought it's good to bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back full circle,
I think episode 9 would have definitely been Dawn of Justice. And this time we're bringing it back to more of the solo features,
Oh, yeah. All right, guys, let's get into it here. We got lots to get through. Deadpool. We had a huge discussion. Oh, yeah. A nice extended podcast last week.
Make sure you check us out. Episode 9.
Shout out to Baron for joining us last week. That's great.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll definitely have him back on, maybe for Batman vs. Superman or something like that.
Well, depending if he likes it or not. Yeah. If he hates it, then he's not coming back on.
You only have to say good things about Batman vs. Superman. No, this thing continues to just dominate the box office, especially for February performance. Yeah. What did it nail? 55 million this weekend?
55 million, for a grand total of 236 mil.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. That's got to be up there with one of the highest grossing X-Men movies.
It is now, yeah.
Yep. Finally past X3, so we can stop talking about that movie.
Forever.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the China market, though, does it? I don't think it's released in China.
No, it got banned.
Yeah. Oh, it has been banned in China.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So that's going to knock it back a bit. That'll take off its total gross. But, domestically, it's doing so great right now.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing to worry about there. We already got the green light on the sequel.
Yeah. Were you guys surprised by how much it dropped? I mean, opening weekend, 155 million. This thing dropped a lot to only pull in 55 million second weekend. I mean, it's still a large amount of money. Mm-hmm. But if you look at a movie like Star Wars, that only dropped 33% the second weekend. And this movie was loved by critics, loved by audiences, a ton of fun. Do you think it was just a case of everyone wanting to go see it, saw it the opening weekend?
Exactly. That's exactly what I think. Everybody that wanted to go see it saw it opening weekend.
Do you think that says something about the rewatchability of it? Is this a movie you're going to go back to? Do you guys feel the need to go back and rewatch there? Because I don't. I feel like, I've seen it. It was good laughs the first time. I'll definitely pick it up on Blu-ray or whatever when it comes out. But I don't have any huge desire like I did with, say, Age of Ultron or Star Wars to go back and rewatch this thing again in theaters.
Right. No, I do feel like bringing some people with me. I'm still trying to persuade a couple of haters out there to the Deadpool movies. You know who you are. So I'm trying to bring them out there. But you're right. Other than that, I think the rewatchability is a kind of a one and done.
Yeah, I feel like if I went back, I'd be like, oh, okay, I know these jokes are coming.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the action's great to go back and watch, but I just don't have this huge pull to. So maybe that market's feeling that a bit.
Yeah.
And maybe some more people have that same opinion and aren't kind of just jumping out to rewatch this thing. This might have a bit of staying power. We might see this thing kind of hover around 25 million for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to get crushed when Batman vs. Superman.
Well, that's it. It doesn't really have anybody to compete against for the next couple of weeks.
No. It's got Kung Fu Panda 3 or whatever that came out, and a couple other family movies and stuff like that.
Actually, The Witch that came out, I'm just going to pump that movie. If you're into horror, you got to check it out. Yeah. It's probably one of the best horror movies since It Follows. It scared me. It's not one of those horror movies where it's a lot of gore, but it definitely is creepy, and it stays with you. I was legitimately scared sleeping at night after seeing that movie.
Oh, man, you're a horror guy, too.
Yes, I am. Just thinking about it, I was like, oh, the ramifications of what happened.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've heard nothing but good things. I can't wait to see that.
Creeps me out just thinking about that.
What's the premise of it, roughly, if you don't mind?
It's called a New England folklore. So the premise is this one family, they live out in the woods in 16th century New England.
Okay.
All these things start happening, and then they start questioning, is there some supernatural occurrences happening to the family or whatnot? So, it's the best witch movie, I would say, since Suspiria by the great Italian director Dario Argento. So definitely worth a check out. It's just a great, excellent film. It won the Sundance Award, I think, for Best Director.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
That's huge.
Yeah, so it's got cred.
That was a good explanation of the synopsis, because I'm kind of intrigued, but I have no idea what you're talking about or what it's about.
Think of Hansel and Gretel, but super jacked up and super scary. It's pretty much like what is that movie with Hawkeye? Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
Witch Hunter or something like that.
For a sequel.
Oh, man, that got a sequel.
Yeah. Speaking, though, of sticking with this box office, Star Wars The Force Awakens is more or less wrapping up its run in theaters. Mm-hmm. And this thing's made $920 million, somewhere in that range. It's not going to catch Titanic globally, though. It's fallen short of that by $150 million and way short of Avatar. Like it's like $600 million short of Avatar globally. You know, if Star Wars can't beat this thing, nothing is ever going to take out Avatar.
Exactly.
Like unless we get to a point where Episode 9 or whatever for Star Wars is building and culminating in this massive movie, there's no way we're ever going to see Avatar dethroned as the global box office champ. Like it got crushed domestically by Star Wars, but I don't know what can beat it.
Yeah.
I don't think Avatar 2 could beat it.
Right? No. That movie, I think that movie is going to be a giant bomb.
I think so.
You
I think
so?
they held out too long. I think it should have came out at least 5 years earlier.
Well, we're going to be like 8 years out or something by the time we actually get another Avatar movie on screen. Like, do you remember what it was about? Do you remember any of the character names?
Pocahontas. John Smith.
Same story.
I think this one takes place in the oceans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know. I may have just made that up. But...
Like I've only seen it once.
Yeah,
and I have the Blu-ray, and it's still in its package.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I was just going to say. Still in the package. So.
Yeah, because you couldn't get it forever too. Because it came out with like an exclusive with the Panasonic 3D TV or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And so it took like 2 years before you could actually get that thing on 3D. I think you get the 2D version, but I held out for that, and by the time it actually came out, I was like, I really don't want to watch this.
Yeah, it's a one and done as well. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's about it for Avatar.
Yeah. I mean, well, unless they maybe do an Avatar Titanic crossover.
Wow.
Jack survived.
Yeah. What if he survived? He got frozen, and then he's Captain America.
It's the worst.
Well, actually, Leonardo DiCaprio, I heard, was attached to play Spider-Man.
He was with James Cameron.
Yeah, they're going to reunite.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
But I think that was before Titanic. Was it?
I think it was just before or just after. It's definitely before the Sam Raimi.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's meant to actually have like the real web shooters, not the organic
Oh,
stuff,
really?
So, yeah.
You know how they had that movie, Whatever Happened to the Death of Superman Lives?
Yeah.
They should do that with a Spider-Man film. I'd love to see concept art of Leo.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that stuff exists?
Yeah.
Like, did he screen test for that kind of stuff? Did he actually jump into a costume?
I don't know if it got that far to the costume. I do think there was some kind of
concept phase sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But movie that's way out of concept and into production.
Oh yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Absolutely.
Oh, I got it in my notes. Let me shuffle these very finely organized notes. Like a news broadcaster. Call me Kent Brockman.
From 1965.
I'm Kent Brockman, signing off.
No, James Gunn tweeted out the first photo for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, very rock star-ish, silhouetted.
I wanna rock!
Yeah, the kind of the cool crate there with the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 tag across it, and you got kind of the silhouetted picture of Star-Lord, and you get little baby Groot sitting up on top of Drax's shoulder, so Groot's coming back, assuming eventually he'll be a big Groot.
Just get to his teens.
Got some fertilizer and some water.
Yeah, exactly. No, and James Gunn, he's fantastic for keeping in communication with his fans. You know, he's constantly tweeting things, and you know, sometimes maybe he's giving a little bit too much away, and sometimes he refuses to not actually acknowledge things that are happening. But you know, he confirmed that Glenn Close is coming back as Nova Prime.
I like that.
And so we're going to see the Nova Corps backs. I don't think we're going to see a Richard Rider.
No, he's confirmed we're not going to see that.
Yeah, so unfortunately we're not going to see a super-powered Nova, which would be awesome.
Yeah.
He also confirmed Kurt Russell.
Wow.
In an undisclosed role.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying it's Peter Quill's father. But I look at him, and especially in the last bit, because in Hateful Eight he had that big mustache and that, and kind of the long hair. He looks like Jason of Spartax. But he says explicitly that he's not in it.
That's right.
And you know, this movie is going to revolve a lot around that storyline.
Yeah.
You know, James Gunn said in a couple of interviews, this is a much more personal story, but also expanding out the universe and the team too. Because he also confirmed that we're getting Mantis.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
In addition to the team. So she's actually quite an interesting character. I think she kind of was like humanoid, and now she's more green. And I'm interested. They're probably going to go this green route. So we're going to have 3 green characters in the Guardian series. It's got little antenna and stuff like that.
And we got Groot too, so...
Yeah, exactly.
4 greens. Stay green, everyone.
She's been a character that's kicked around, actually. She debuted early on in Marvel. I think Steve Englehart was the person that created her. And he ended up taking her to DC... And then to Image,
No way.
She had a slightly different character. I think her name was Willow in DC.
Oh, okay.
I might be wrong there. And then she eventually came back to Marvel.
No way.
Oh, okay.
And she kind of got dipped into the Guardians run, or the Guardians series, in 2007, I think it was, in Annihilation Conquest Star-Lord. There's a 4-issue miniseries there.
Cool.
And she came back there, and then she ended up at the end of that series, after kind of Annihilation Conquest, she ended up back with the Guardians on Nowhere. And she kind of has these like telepathic abilities and stuff like that. So seems like a cool character.
Neat.
And a nice ad. So she's kind of in and out of that 2008 series.
Cool.
So she's not present in any of the Guardian stuff recently, except for there might have been a small appearance early on in the Bendis run, maybe. Anyways, cool character, nice little addition ad there, and it's good to see this thing getting off the ground. And they got Chris Pratt's back, Batista's back,
nice,
and Zoe Saldana,
right,
Yeah.
Star Trek and all that. Yeah,
she's in everything. She's in Star Trek. I think she's in Avatar.
Yes.
Yeah. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Is she in that?
Yeah.
I think she was. Was she in Columbiana as well? I don't think anybody saw that movie, but
I think she's in The Losers as well.
No way.
She's all over the place.
Yeah, so
Any predictions who Kurt Russell could play? Or if it is a father, could it be
Kurt Russell?
Could it be Adam Warlock?
Do you think they cast someone that age as Adam Warlock? I don't know, because
well, Adam Warlock is, you would know better than anyone. He used to be a big deal at least.
Guardians,
right?
big time. Yeah. He was on the team for a while. He was big in the original Guardians, or not the original Guardians run, but the 2008 series, in that whole Annihilation stuff. He comes in it a little bit, and he was big back in the day, and he has big ties to Thanos, and the Mind Stone, I think he's got,
because that's on his forehead.
On his forehead, very similar to Vision. And so he's a big deal. I would not doubt if he shows up.
Kurt Russell, see a cocoon in that
exactly.
movie, right?
And apparently there's rumored that there's a scene, or you can see in the collectors, that's actually broken in the Howard the Duck scene at the end.
Right.
Apparently somewhere in there it's open. Because that was at the end of Thor: The Dark World that you saw the cocoon, which Adam Warlock goes, every time he dies, he gets rebirthed into that sort of cocoon thing, and he ends up coming back out, kind of reformed in that. But I just, when I see Adam Warlock, Kurt Russell isn't the person I think of.
You're right.
I see him as just maybe as emperor or something like that of some planet.
Jason, almost, right?
That's what when he cast him, I was like, okay, he's Jason, like,
exactly.
And that really, if you look at the current run, he looks a lot like that character. Kurt Russell. That's with the long hair and the big mustachy kind of beardy sort of thing.
True. It's because obviously Star-Lord's character, he's half human and he's half something else, right? That's a different take from the original comic, isn't it? He's just
in the original comic he was, well, I'm not sure going way back, but then Bendis kind of retold the Peter Quill kind of origins. I don't think he tweaked him that much, just updated it. But it's this half human and half, he's Jason of Spartak, so he's the emperor of another planet.
Right, but they look like humans as well.
Yeah, they're basically a humanoid looking sort of thing. And so I don't know what they're going to do here. It's going to be interesting. And, people have said Thanos. People have said, there's a really cool fan theory that it was like Tony Stark's kid that was from some liaison in the 80s or whatever.
I can see it.
But they said he's some sort of, being they haven't seen in millennia or whatever. That might have just been a way of not writing themselves into a corner. And essentially saying something very definitive. They've kind of left it quite ambiguous, so they could say, we haven't really got that far. Maybe at that time they didn't know if they're going to have a sequel to this, if this is going to take off or whatever. So
I have a question. So the scene at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy establishes Howard the Duck. Does that now mean that the first original Howard the Duck movie is canon? Is that Marvel canon? That is the first chapter of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's right. That's a good question.
I don't know if I'd go that far as to call it canon.
It's got to be. How else is he going to get there?
Different duck, man.
There's no different duck. That's ridiculous. 2 Howard the Ducks?
Just didn't age so well.
It's all the drugs, smoking, and alcohol.
All that psychedelic stuff going
on. Have you guys seen that movie?
Yeah, long time ago.
2 seconds. I didn't even know it was a Marvel character back in the day.
No, me neither. I had no idea.
What's his name? George Lucas directed it or produced it?
No way.
He did it all. Incredible. Like, that was right out of Lucasfilm.
Wow.
You think they would have saw that and been like, you know what, episode 1, maybe we'll give it to someone else there.
Well, the thing is, too, George, he had control of everything. Like, there's nothing people could do, right? It was just like, he was writing the checks, he was writing the stories, he was calling the shots, right?
That's what they say the problem with episodes 1, 2, and 3 is that there's just a bunch of yes men surrounded by him because, he had the iron fist, right?
Yeah, he owned everything. Yeah. Like, and he, Fox distributed it, but he owned all the character rights, all the story, all the final say on everything, and the visuals, all that kind of stuff, right? So, but anyways, Guardians is, really Marvel's kind of last, with the exception of maybe Thor: The Dark World, but it's our last kind of look at the, extended Marvel cosmos before Infinity War.
That's right.
And James Gunn's been quite explicit in saying that Thanos is not in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And the MacGuffin isn't another Infinity Stone or whatever. So it's going to be interesting to see. Like, I can't see them kind of completely avoiding seeding Infinity War in this movie.
No.
There's got to be, even if it's just, there's, background whispers that, the reemergence of Thanos into the galaxy or alluding to the fact that someone is chasing the Infinity Stones.
Exactly.
And, whether they do that with off comments from the Collector or whatever, there's got to be some sort of undertone that something is happening, among the stars and something that related to Thanos. I'd be a bit disappointed if we don't, I think Thanos fits really well.
Absolutely.
Into this movie or into this film franchise, and maybe they're trying to pull back and tell a smaller story. And when you have Thanos, you're thinking big. Grand sort of thing, right?
When does Thor Ragnarok come out? Before Infinity Gauntlet or after?
Before.
Okay, so we might maybe see.
So it might be something there.
Thanos in there, maybe.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, we might.
I think Thor Ragnarok though is what's that devil's name? Surtur? He's the Norse devil. So I think it's gonna focus around that and more take place more in Asgard,
right?
Than space.
Than space,
yeah.
Right.
But
Asgard is in space, right? I know they talk about the 9 realms and all that kind of stuff, but it's not like another dimension. It's like a planet, basically.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's because you see at the end of Thor: The Dark World, the two Warriors 3 or whatever, Lady Sif and I can't remember the other guy's name. They show up in the Collector's Vault, right?
Yeah.
And they say, here's the ether.
Yeah.
We already have one Infinity Stone. And that was the first kind of hey, these are actually Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
The acknowledgement of, we have one Infinity Stone in Asgard. There's, not wise to keep more than one in one place.
Yeah,
Makes
exactly.
sense.
And so that kind of connects all that up as far as saying, that's just another planet in kind of the cosmos itself.
Yeah, but humans look at it as gods. I guess.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool how they did all that. It was they're gods, but they're only gods because they live for a couple thousand years and they have kind of all these powers and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they're actually, in their kind of own realm, they're just kind of normal people.
That's pretty neat. Yeah.
So I gotta ask a question. So not that I think it will, but let's just say, for argument's sake, this film doesn't live up to expectations and it flops. A sign of a good franchise is that you could come back from terrible movies. Look at Batman. Look at James Bond. Even Star Wars, the first 3 episodes 1, 2, 3 weren't as well received, and then they come back with The Force Awakens and blow everyone away. If Guardians, is it at that stage where, say, number 2 isn't very well received? Will we get a trilogy? Will we get the third, or is that it? Is it possible for this franchise to continue if number 2 isn't very good? Or does this have to be just as good or even better to get a third one?
I think that they'll probably get a third one.
Yeah.
I find it very difficult to try to grasp the concept that this won't be as good as the first one. I know sometimes we see a step down in quality with your second entry, but I think because James Gunn's got so much invested in this,
he does.
and he's so close to the characters, and maybe that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
He's maybe not able to see through certain things,
Right.
but I think there's a lot of people in that kind of sphere of influence that are, especially with guys like Chris Pratt and stuff like that being a part of this. I feel like he's the type of guy to be like, okay, something's going real bad here.
Yeah, he's never made a bad movie.
The last few years. But he said he read the script and it was awesome, and these guys are probably obligated to say stuff like that.
I want someone to just come out and be like, no, the script is shit.
You see that afterwards, I think.
Fantastic Four,
But I think realistically, this franchise could suffer from a movie that maybe isn't as good, and continue on. There's a lot of movies and a lot of franchise building and a lot of universe building that happen in between Guardians Volume 2 and the end of Infinity War, right? Because we're not getting a Guardians 3 until after Infinity War, so there's a lot to happen in there. And going forward, this has to be one of the franchises that continues, because we're losing probably Cap franchise for a while, Thor franchise. We've already lost the Iron Man franchise. It seems he seems to be playing more of a supporting character, if you can call Robert Downey Jr. that ever. But or a man that comes on the screen and steals the show, but his name isn't in the title.
And which is a good point too, because funny enough, if for whatever reason Guardians was to kind of fail and flop, speaking of Tony Stark, you could always just throw him in the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
True.
bump it right up there.
Yeah, because
right?
he had that run in Bendis' run on Guardians there.
Yeah.
They had Iron Man in that.
Yeah, the new costume and everything.
Yeah,
Just another
exactly.
way to sell toys. So.
Yeah.
Just have him just blast off into
Right?
space.
Yeah.
So-
I read this article. It was talking about Batman versus Superman, and it was saying that a lot of times the first movie, the director and the studio are equally involved. You know, they each put in their input. I think this was off Forbes. I'd have to find the article so you guys can read it. But he said, you know, if you look at the sequels, if the first one's a success, the studio kind of steps back and pushes the director.
Yeah.
If you look at Batman and then Batman Returns, that's all Tim Burton. Like, that is not a Batman movie at all. He had a couple other examples. I'm drawing a blank here, but if you just think of sequels, you know, that sometimes they go a little bit different. Like, if you think of...
Amazing Spider-Man 2, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Where it's more like the director, and, you know, you see, like, that step down quality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, James Gunn, before doing Guardians, I mean, I don't know what else he did.
He did
Slither?
Yeah, and he did
Oh,
a
that's
bunch
a
of
good
trauma
movie.
films and stuff like that.
I can't
Okay.
remember the other one. But
Yeah.
Slither's the one
It's
that stands
Super.
out to
He
me.
did as well.
Okay.
Real satirical take on all of it.
But he's kind of an indie. He's more of a low...
Yeah.
The Guardians was by far his first
biggest,
big one,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they hired him to make it kind of James Gunn-esque, kind of
Right.
quirky
Yeah.
and different,
Yeah.
and kind of put his own twist on it. And I think because they're offset a bit from the actual MCU proper, like your big characters, they gave him a lot more reins to do what he wanted with it, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's where the success kind of came from
Right.
for this.
Yeah.
And I think they're giving him that same autonomy as he had with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, if you want to call it that,
Right.
and allowing him to do what he wants. Because he's kind of, you know, what he does maybe has a little influence on the whole cinematic universe, but it's not as impactful as if they kind of let him go crazy with Captain America or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So-
that's true. It's kind of a trend, right? They've taken other like indie kind of directors and
Yeah.
given these big superhero franchises.
Russo brothers.
Right?
Yeah.
exactly.
Giving them
one.
three of the biggest movies that they're ever going to
Huge.
produce.
Yeah, right?
I think Mark Webb too, when
Yeah.
he did Amazing Spider-Man and Chronicle. How do I forget his name?
Josh Trank.
Josh
Josh
Trank,
Trank when he's
yeah.
given the keys to Fantastic Four.
Which he
Sometimes it doesn't always
subsequently
work.
lost.
And then lost the keys to Star Wars Episode 9.
yeah.
Oh, he was supposed to do Star Wars Episode 9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
They stripped that from him pretty quick. He gave it to Colin Trevorrow, the guy that did Jurassic World.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's doing Episode 9.
That's a good get.
Yeah.
I mean, they could literally get anyone. If you ask any director in Hollywood, they'd drop it in an instant.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But-
Who would you like to see? I mean, if the Star Wars came and said, Tim, we love the nerd room. You know, Troy, we love the nerd
Yeah.
room. You guys could pick the next director for Star Wars Episode 9. Who do you pick?
Would it be bad to nominate myself?
Could we do an anthology film? Or is it just if it's an anthology film, I would really like to see maybe like a Matthew Vaughn do like an Obi-Wan
Oh, wow.
kind of
Oh,
story.
yeah.
and based on Tatooine. I think that'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
cool. That would be
Yeah.
cool. That's a
I'd
good
like to see
choice.
someone like just completely different and just like
Yeah.
run with it.
Exactly.
I can't think of anyone right now. Maybe the guy that did Star Trek. Oh wait, they already did that. It was amazing.
All right, guys. So Daredevil Season 2. Last week, we ran out of time, actually, to talk about the Daredevil Season 2 trailer. But it dropped, and it dropped hard.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You know, this thing looks like it's going darker and to a really violent
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the first one was super violent.
Oh, yeah.
I would think. You know, what do you guys think of the first season?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
Great. I loved it. Honestly, every episode to me was just incredible. The last episode was kind of a little step back for me personally. I can only speak for myself. I felt the costume was kind of a little funny. The way it's handled, the fight seemed a little inconsistent with everything else we've seen. Other than that, though, I mean, it's like a 10 out of 10 this season,
Yeah,
right? That
it's
series.
fantastic.
Yeah.
The action's great. The fighting's great. The guy, I can't remember his name, that portrays
Fisk.
Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Daredevil,
he's great.
Yeah.
Fisk is
Yeah,
fantastic.
best villain, right?
Yeah,
He's-
very well developed.
Yeah.
You know, you see a lot of his backstory. You know, I found him. He's kind of at parts. I found him a little motivated. But you know, other than that, I like Daredevil's costume. The face kind of looked weird.
That's
though.
just it. It's just the face.
Yeah,
I think the nose.
the
on
nose
there was
area,
kind of funny.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. And kind of, I felt the same way about Jessica Jones. I felt maybe they could have condensed it by 1 or 2 episodes.
Absolutely.
There's kind of a bit, and like I was saying, Jessica Jones had this as well, where there's a bit of a lull kind of towards the back end of the middle part of the season. And I felt maybe you could have compressed some of those episodes. And I can't remember if it was 10 episodes or whatever it was. It could have went down to maybe 8.
It really
and
could
it
have.
could have been streamlined. But other than that, you know, still, it was great. A lot of that is more of the character building stuff, which, you know, kind of attaches you to the characters a bit more. And, you
It's
know,
very character driven, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And this next one, John Berthel as Punisher.
Wow.
And this is the first time that we're actually seeing him with a little action.
Yeah.
He's getting a little dialogue.
Yeah.
That when he sits there and he's like, just bang.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're one bad day away from being me.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man, blown away.
Yeah.
And it's just portraying like the Frank Castle, the Punisher,
Yeah.
that and they're giving the reigns to just be as violent as possible. Like I don't know what this thing. I don't know if they have ratings on Netflix or anything like that.
They
I
must.
think they do. I think they do have ratings.
This must sit there at close to an R. Like
Yeah.
I think the amount of violence that we're gonna get, and like just even the blood in that was in an episode in the
trailer there.
Yeah, the trailer, and then even the first season.
Oh,
and
okay,
yeah,
yeah.
just the violent fights. I think we're going to see that kind of stemming right through this as well. He looks like he's a military guy,
Yep.
and he's just kind of out in Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Kitchen is an awful place.
Who would live there in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Yeah. It's like Hell's Kitchen or Gotham.
Yeah. There's a lot of similarities between the two characters, actually.
Daredevil, Batman.
Yeah, especially with way back. I think Frank Miller did
That's right.
Batman run, which was the Dark Knight Returns, and then he after did Daredevil, which seems like they're drawing right from that kind of run. Yeah,
I was telling Tim this. I was reading this book. If you guys remember the PBS superhero, they did a 3-part documentary, and it talked all about the history of superheroes and how they came to be from their rise in comic books, from the pages of newspapers until today. Very awesome documentary. I highly recommend you check it out. But they released a companion book, and I've just been reading that. And one thing I found interesting is just how much superheroes are plagiarized from past superheroes.
Yeah.
Like there's this one superhero, I think his name was the Black Bat, and he was a blind district attorney who fought crime.
sounds like somebody.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, we're getting Foggy, Claire Temple, the whole supporting cast is back. I don't know if we're going to see Kingpin or not. Well, I won't spoil the end of the.
Right.
Yeah, I've only
series
seen
or anything
3
like
episodes.
that,
So.
Do you think we will see anyone cross over like
like a Luke Cage or
Luke
Jessica
Cage,
Jones?
Iron Fist, Jessica Jones?
Yeah, I'd like to see Luke Cage because they're shooting. We're just finishing up shooting Luke Cage. I don't know if we're going to see because Claire Temple, she was the one. She was in Jessica Jones, and there's set photos of her in Luke Cage, and so she seems to be kind of the person that's the consistency amongst this Netflix series. That's Rosario Dawson.
Nurse Nightwatch? Or
Night Nurse. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she seems to be like the continuity in between it, just showing that these are all in the same universe.
And she's great, by the way, right?
Yeah.
She's fantastic in that. I would really, really like to see Nuke come over into the because he's first introduced in Daredevil.
Yeah,
I believe.
And he'd be good against Punisher. Even.
Exactly.
Kind of
ex-military guys going at it.
Yeah, and kind of both a bit, spun and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, make it happen.
Do you think we're gonna get a spin-off Punisher series?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think especially just from what I'm seeing, like we've only seen a couple scenes of John Berthel as Punisher, but I think if he pulls it off and is really well received, there's no reason why they can't spin out. And like they don't have to go back because I think they're going to do a bit of his origins by the look of the trailer. You're going to see some of why he is, essentially, I wouldn't even say anti-hero. He's just like a vigilant that's out there, shooting people.
Yeah.
And he says this in the trailer, like when Daredevil hits them, they go down. When Daredevil or Punisher hits them, they stay down. Sort of.
Love that. So many great lines.
Yeah.
And so it's good stuff, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic to see this. And this drops in a couple weeks. And so it's going to be the whole weekend inside.
Yeah.
What's your favorite portrayal of Punisher so far that we've gotten?
Dolph Lundgren, 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
Which one was the War Zone? Which one?
I think that was the second one. That's the newest one. And if I remember correctly, that was the director who was originally attached to Wonder Woman, and then she pulled out. Or it could have been the opposite. The one who was originally attached to Thor: The Dark World is now the director of Wonder Woman. Oh, okay. But the one who did Punisher Warzone was originally attached, and then she pulled out.
Which one had John Travolta as the villain?
Oh, I think that's the first one. Like, not the Dolph Lundgren, but
the one right after.
Yeah.
Okay, I always get the mixed up. Yeah.
Easy mistake. One of them had, who was it, Kevin Nash from NWO?
Oh, yeah. Or Magic Mike,
More wrestlers in movies. Like, wrestling and superheroes... a little bit of foreshadowing here, but, they go together quite nicely.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Stephen Amell from Arrow did,
WrestleMania
last year, which is cool.
Batista as Drax?
Yeah,
he's great.
Who would you cast, let's see, who would you cast The Undertaker as?
I have no idea.
He'd be a cool. Actually, I guess it's too big. I'd say Kane from the '90s era of the clone Spider-Man series. He's this big, brooding kind of weirdo. But
I thought you meant like Kane from the WWE.
oh,
Like his brother.
yeah, brother, or just cast him.
Yeah.
So this past Sunday, we had a Disneyland 60th anniversary special.
Nice.
And within that, we had a reveal. Harrison Ford out on stage revealing Star Wars Land, the new 14-acre massive expansion in Disneyland, California, and Hollywood Studios in Orlando, Florida.
Nice.
So the whole show itself was pretty great, actually. You know, it was a lot of, you know, old footage from Disneyland, and I'm a huge Disneyphile. Like, I absolutely love it down there. You know, I love going in there. It's very similar to me, the experience as going to the movies, except for it's a, you know, an extended experience where you go in, you forget about the outside world, you become a kid, and you just go have fun. You know, it's okay to be a kid in there.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I live my life like a child, it seems. But this is showing a lot of old footage. Walt Disney. We got a lot of new trailers. We got another Jungle Book trailer. We got a first look at Pete's Dragon,
which looked like Jungle Book.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then another look at the Alice in Wonderland sequel.
Oh, okay.
I think through the Looking Glass or something like that.
Is Depp back in that one too?
Yeah. He's dressed up as a weirdo, acting all weird and kind of all, you know, spaced out.
When isn't he? I can't think of a single movie when he's not dressed up acting weird.
Like even in Black Mass recently, which was like a serious movie, he was still caked in makeup.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
What if he's not even real? He's just like a robot.
Just need to keep putting rubber over his face. But the actual Star Wars reveal itself, you know, it wasn't exactly what I was expecting it was going to be. I thought they're going to kind of show the map and they're going to show kind of scale models and stuff like that. But it's a lot just more of the concepts, the concept drawings. But some of the cool stuff they revealed. So we had already knew there was going to be kind of a Millennium Falcon ride.
Nice.
And
cantina as well.
Yeah, well, they're actually going to have. There's a cantina you can go to. There's street markets. There's a big dining experience. They have the whole land. Yeah, the whole land itself is, and it's very original trilogy themed. It seems, or it's pulling a lot from that because you're getting ships, and it looks like you're going to get an area that's controlled by the Empire, the area that's controlled by the Rebellion, and stuff like that. I guess there's going to be characters walking around, so it feels like you're on a planet. There's going to be stormtroopers walking around.
Oh my god, I'm never going to leave.
No, exactly. Like, why? Yeah,
it's going to be so confusing because everyone always dresses up, so you're just going to think everyone works there.
Just always taking pictures beside you.
Why do you think I work here?
But the rides, the Millennium Falcon ride, looks like it's going to be kind of more of a Star Tours ride where you're kind of sitting, you're kind of getting jostled around, and it's a 3D simulation with the screen in front of you. And then there's some other, they showed simulations of these things, kind of just like, you know, computer generated people kind of swaying back and forth.
Right.
But there's another one that's a battle between the First Order and the Resistance, and you're kind of stuck in the middle of it. So it looks pretty cool. I was hoping for something more of like a roller coaster-esque sort of thing, or like, have you ever been on Pirates of the Caribbean where you sit in the boat and you kind of go through the different lands and stuff like that? Like, how cool would that be? But Star Wars, like you go through Endor and then you're on Hoth and it's cold and stuff like that, and you have all the animatronics.
So cool.
Like, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
But you might get a lot more of that experience where you're out in the land itself. But yeah, it looks just fantastic. And they had Harrison Ford out there presenting it.
BB-8 too, right?
Yeah, BB-8 rolled out. And then they did right after, they did a Star Wars Live in concert where they kind of play a lot of the themes and the music from the...
John Williams there too?
John Williams, I don't think John Williams was conducting. It was all his music though, right?
That's awesome.
And they had a big orchestra there, and then they had a bunch of the scenes playing up behind from, you know, the original trilogy, the prequels, The Force Awakens, and they kind of went through the different songs and that. You get, you know, Vader's Death March and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
It was awesome. I seen it when I was living in London. I saw the London Symphony Orchestra, and it was hosted by Anthony Daniels. And it was a couple hours long, and they kind of just went through all the music, and they had big scenes playing up, and then Anthony Daniels would come out in between and talk about his Star Wars experience and talk about how much he loved the fans and stuff like that.
Cool. He's a big fanboy, isn't he?
Yeah.
C3, right?
C3PO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked, because I have no idea who that guy is.
And it's
a composer, actually.
It's funny, because when he kind of talks a bit like him, but then when he'll slip into the C3PO voice once in a while, and it's kind of like, whoa, it's pretty surreal.
That's really cool.
Did he have a red arm?
Yeah. Just dunked it in paint as before he came down.
What do you think are some of the failed rides that, you know, they proposed, but then there's like, oh, that's just the stupidest idea? Like, can you think of any that you'd be like, oh, man, like...
The Tauntaun ride.
Yeah. Where you got to get in it to get warm. Something like that. Yeah, something weird. I don't know. Like, here's, you know, let's go fight this massive Darth Vader guy.
The Ewok this way. The crossover between the Ewoks and Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You walk this way.
Come on.
They're probably like, if they have a Chinese restaurant, it'd be like Ewok.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow. That's fantastic.
You walk serving your food. Yeah.
You know, I'm looking at you and I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? And then I was like, oh.
Is it like a trash compactor ride or something?
Yeah.
That'd be a little dangerous.
yeah.
Just
sign
sitting there
here.
panicking. The walls are literally closing in on you.
This is the worst ride ever.
Oh, you had to sign the form before you go
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
If this closes and crushes your skull, you will not
Yeah.
sue Disney.
Do you think anyone's gonna dress up like? Oh wait, I forgot the main guy's name.
Luke?
Luke, yeah, like Luke's uncle and aunt.
I should probably edit that part out of
Yeah.
you putting his name.
What's his uncle and aunt's
Aunt
name?
Peru.
And uncle?
Uncle Owen.
Uncle Owen, that's right.
Do you think they're gonna have Uncle Owen's barbecue?
Yo, that is like a super violent part of that film.
That
man.
is
Like
probably one of the
that.
violent
that
scenes we've seen.
Yeah.
since
Like-
Anakin killed the younglings, and
Yeah.
we didn't see that actually. So
no, that was like burnt. Like as a
Yeah.
child, like I didn't see this movie as like I was probably 10 or something the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
And like I can imagine as like a young child, you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's a bit extreme.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
Sorry to all you Uncle Owen fans out there.
so we got a whole bunch more news about Civil War.
Yes, the war that happened between the South and the
Yeah.
North in the American Revolution. Which one is Jefferson? No, is Jefferson in the Civil War, or no, it's Lincoln?
Lincoln.
Man, I have no knowledge of American history.
We got some cool covers from Empire Magazine. We got kind of their regular cover and also a subscription cover. One of them pays homage to issue 7 of the Civil War comic series run, where you have Iron Man kind of with the repulsor rays going right at Captain America's shield.
Blocking it.
Yeah, it looks
Nice.
awesome. And then the really incredible one, which needs to be a poster, is the Cap shield kind of cut in half and broken, and then the Iron Man mask kind of cut half and broken. It looks incredible.
So cool.
And then within that, we also got an article on it, which revealed a little bit. So I'm going to say spoiler. These aren't really big spoilers or anything
This
like
is
that.
breaking news from the Nerd Room. Exclusive! Exclusive! Bow, bow, bow.
No, but inside we got a few details of Martin Freeman's character, and he's the guy that was in The Hobbit and stuff like that. And so he was someone that was kind of wandering around in the background of some photos and stuff like that before, and we knew he was cast.
Whoa, time out. Morgan Freeman?
No.
Martin
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, Morgan Freeman's in this? That's amazing.
He's in Sherlock,
Yeah.
the TV series,
Yeah,
British
and he
with
plays
Benedict
like
Cumberbatch.
Bilbo.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
Bilbo. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Bilbo, of course.
Yeah.
I actually know that. I actually really do love Lord of the Rings, so. Okay, sorry to sidetrack this train, but we'll pick it back up, pick it up.
There it is.
It's back.
No, he was cast as a character called Everett Ross. He's kind of like a liaison for the U.S. government, in the comics at least, for the U.S. government between America and Wakanda.
Oh, okay.
And then so through that, he becomes kind of a Wakandan expert, and then he becomes kind of the foremost American mind on Wakanda and stuff like that.
Cool.
And so he has a lot of connection to Black Panther
Cool. So there's a
in the
connection
comics.
there. Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like, and the description it said he's kind of part of this kind of joint terrorism task force or something like that.
Oh.
So I don't know if they're probably using some of the elements of the comic book here, but maybe not all of them.
Right, like they normally do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting because when I look at him and kind of the caliber of actor they got in that role, I see him more as like a Coulson-like character.
Yeah.
Because maybe he's going to start showing up in a lot more movies. Like he'll maybe show up in the Black Panther movie, and he's acting as, maybe he'll act as a liaison between the U.S. government and maybe some sort of new Avengers team or something like that. Because the image has him beside Agent 13, Emily Van Camp's Sharon Carter character.
Cool.
So it looks like there's something going on there. And you also get the first look at Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, unmasked Black Panther, and he's kind of standing there with Cap and that. He looks fantastic,
Yeah.
He's, when you look at him, you're like, wow, they cast that really
Yeah.
well.
I love that from the day I heard that he was cast. I was like, that's a really great choice. So,
Yeah, well, there's also an interview with Anthony Mackie.
this is a
That's
big one.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he let it slip
Yeah.
that Mark Ruffalo is in Civil War,
Right.
or at least when he was rattling off names.
Right.
He made reference to Ruffalo amongst the other cast.
Exactly.
Maybe he's just talking about that Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, maybe.
But this isn't the first time that slipped too, because Downey a while back also mentioned Ruffalo. This is whenever we heard talks. Okay, Hulk's going to be in Civil War, and then just died out. And now Anthony Mackie's brought it back up to our attention. And I think he's on some kind of podcast of some sort. And he brought this up, right? Yeah.
Wasn't ours.
He's denying our request. Mackie, if you're out there, I'm calling you out.
No, but it's interesting because when I read the interview, I was like, oh, maybe he's just rattling off people's names, because he's giving praise to the movie and stuff like that, and how the caliber of actors and stuff like that. And Ruffalo being a great actor, maybe it just kind of, he was in Age of Ultron, and Anthony Mackie was kind of there.
Exactly.
They're kind of a core group, maybe it just kind of slipped out. Because, in the comics, in Civil War, the comic run, they had kind of the Thor clone, right? That was like this secret kind of superpowered being that Tony used. And so maybe Hulk is being used in the same capacity.
Okay.
As maybe as kind of, he's like, I don't know if maybe Vision switched sides or Cap has something up his sleeve, and Tony's like, well, I got Banner here, so let's do this. And maybe that airport scene isn't the final battle, maybe there's another one after. And really thinking about this, it's like, well, now the Super Bowl commercial makes a lot more sense.
Totally.
It'll be a little funny though, because to the general public, whoever has Hulk, it wins, right? If you have Hulk,
unless you put Thor,
unless you put Thor in there,
or
Red Hulk.
I was going to say Red Hulk.
That's a good point, too.
That's General Ross.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. That's a really good idea. If not, maybe it's just Banner. Maybe we just see Banner.
I was also thinking, maybe the start sequence has something to do with the Hulk rampaging, and then they fire him off into space.
Isn't that from the animated movie Avengers? I think it was like the second
Planet Hulk.
They send him off into space.
Well, that's a whole like Illuminati thing in the comics, right? That's how Planet Hulk starts.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So
Charles Xavier sent him
a bunch of them.
Oh, it's so cool.
And so maybe we're getting some of that. So it's going to be interesting to see how Hulk plays out, because I was never really fully. We talked about this before. I was never really fully satisfied with how ambiguous they left Hulk. In Age of Ultron, it seems like we don't really know what we're going to do with them, so we're just going to do this. In that case, we can just say, "Oh, we found him," and if not, we can say, "Well, he pointed himself up and went to space."
Exactly. Leave the door open. It's interesting you bring up the Mackie interview, because he went on to say, "This is not called misquote or
paraphrasing."
That's the word. Mackie, if he was on here, he could have said it himself. But he said he thinks Civil War will be the first comic book movie to be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars.
That's a bold statement.
Could a geek movie, Lord of the Rings did it, but a purely superhero movie, are we going to live to see the day where a Marvel or DC movie gets nominated and, God forbid, wins Best Picture?
God forbid.
Well, willing. No, I know, but it seems like the Oscar voters, we'll get into this later, but it seems like they don't want to see that. Go back to 2008. The Dark Knight does not get nominated for Best Picture.
That's why they tweak that, though.
Yeah, right? But come on, that's the biggest snub.
Yeah, definitely.
That's pretty big.
Even Star Wars this year got nominated for a bunch of awards, but not Best Picture.
Technical awards. This is where you constantly see these films falling into, right?
Yeah, exactly. Makeup, costume.
Yeah, exactly. Sound editing, stuff like that.
Throwaways, kind of.
I don't know. I would love to see, and we'll get into this a little bit about some of my...
No, Tim, we're getting into it now.
Well, some of the things that I don't like about the Academy Awards is the fact that we're not seeing some of these movies, and some of this is my bias showing through, my likes, and that you don't see a lot of these movies being nominated. Did The Winter Soldier deserve to get a nod?
Absolutely.
It's pretty tough. There's some solid movies. I think we'll definitely see eventually a comic book movie be nominated. Absolutely.
But does it have to be a comic book movie that doesn't feel like a comic movie outside of kind of the superheroes? Maybe more like a Kingsman or something like that.
Right.
It's a bit more grounded. It is adapted from a comic book, but you're not seeing like Vision. You're not seeing Hulk. You're not seeing like the Joker or Superman or something like that that's kind of out of this world.
It has to be super grounded, like a Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That would probably be as close as you're ever going to get to something that could be nominated. Is that you're not too far out of the realm of possibility of this actually happening, right? You have kind of this, especially Dark Knight. You kind of have this crazy guys just going around terrorizing, stuff like that. You take the makeup off that, and that's just, and take the guy to the suit. That's an action flick, right?
Exactly.
Excellent mystery, excellent crime, thriller. I'm kind of skeptical because was it Birdman won Best Picture, and that whole movie just bashes the comic book movie industry. So it kind of seems like like as a horror fan too, I feel snubbed because it never gets nominated, and I feel like a lot of them should. A movie has never won where the whole premise was just bashing horror movies. Like that was the whole premise, was just like superhero movies are dumb. Oh look, I'm Birdman. Oh, I'm artsy. No.
We spoke about this a little bit when we talked about the actual what was nominated, and do the Academy Awards need other categories, like splitting up drama and action, or say something along the lines of horror, or something like recognizing these films that aren't just your kind of high class, or what would be considered high class films. And we're seeing though this year Mad Max gets a nomination. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's not your traditional
exactly. So
sort of Academy nominations.
Yeah.
So like you said, we're heading down that.
We're heading there.
Yeah.
We're heading there.
Yeah.
But
Sorry to hijack this thread.
No.
Let's pick it up.
all right.
Just to rewind back, Star Wars Force Awakens comic.
Totally
That's
forgot.
right. Yes.
So we're getting a 4-issue adaptation.
Yes, or 5-part miniseries. Yeah,
Excellent. And so it's adapting the film itself, and it comes out in the summertime.
Summertime it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are great to pick up because sometimes within the comics, and this is the same thing with the adaptation, the story, the actual either young reader's adaptation or the novelization of a movie, you get extra scenes in there.
Right.
Stuff that was deleted, stuff that was taken, out of the script because maybe it was too dense or it didn't move the story along quick enough, or there's a pacing issue there. You actually get that stuff reinserted back in. So I'm hoping maybe we get some, little scenes, maybe some more stuff with Maze Katana, and maybe some little more backstory on what happened with Rey and Jakku when she was dropped off, stuff like that. I'm not saying that that's what we're going to get. It might just be a panel for panel retelling of the best parts of The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Being that it's 5 issues, that's a lot of space to tell the story, right? And it is a dense movie, but I'm hoping maybe we get some extra scenes in there.
Exactly, especially even if you can see the Poe's first encounter with the Max von Sydow character on Jakku, right? That'd be great.
Yeah, they need some expansion on that for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
So it'd be interesting to see. So they're gonna be a lot of fun, and getting Rey, Poe, and Finn in comic form, I'm all for that.
Oh yeah, especially the cool thing is too, the guy that does the covers, the special covers, is the same guy that did the Civil War or Secret War art.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Alex Ross?
No, not Alex Ross. Azad Rebek. I butchered that name. But the writer Chuck Wendig. I guess he did Aftermath. I think you read. Did you read Aftermath?
Aftermath. Yeah. So this is guy. Yeah, it's the guy that's been adapting and writing Star Wars fiction or whatever you want to call it for some time now, and I think he's doing all of the Aftermath books.
Yeah,
if
the
not
3 series.
Yeah, the 3. So he's got
The Aftermath, is that like the Dr. Dre album?
Yeah. Close. Less weed. Maybe.
You never know. You're talking about the 60s drug references.
No, so I'm real excited for these things. I think it's going to be maybe something you can pick up.
I was thinking of a cool idea that they should do for Star Wars, because the franchise is kind of failing. It's not making a lot of money, so I think I can revitalize it. Okay, so I thought it would always be cool if they release comic books of movies that actually never did end up getting made. If they release
like one shot sort of thing.
Yeah, like Joel Schumacher was supposed to do another Batman film featuring Scarecrow, Harley Quinn, and the Joker.
Yeah, Triumph, I think it was.
Yeah,
Batman Triumph,
DC should release a comic book about that. I'd love to read and see what that would be. We talked about Leonardo DiCaprio Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Release a comic book of that. Release a comic book of what George Lucas would have made Episode 7. Because, he came out and he said, I didn't, did he not like it? He didn't like it. He had a different vision of it.
Only one on the planet that didn't like it.
The only thing with that, though, is
seller's remorse.
That would kind of tie in with the series you used to read, the novels, the Legends, right?
Yeah.
Because I guess they covered, technically they had their own Episode 7. 9,
Yeah, they had,
okay.
that's the Timothy Zahn series.
Yeah.
And they have stuff like that. And they put that into comic form and stuff like that also.
Cool.
So the novelization is a comic form that Dark Horse did not too long after.
Yes, yeah.
And so it'd be interesting to do one-shots on stuff like that. Just a different take on things, just to give people an idea. And, even going back to an Edgar Wright Ant-Man or something like that.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Brilliant. Yeah.
What his take on that would have been, what he would have tweaked. They're never going to do stuff like that because that really starts to impede on the direction that it was actually taken. If people love the Edgar Wright, be like, well, maybe we made a mistake here. And stuff like that.
Do you guys know about the Green Arrow movie?
Oh yeah, Supermax?
Yeah.
That's so cool. It sounded so cool.
Yeah, so I think the premise was Green Arrow gets locked up in a jail filled with supervillains.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But he's framed for something that he didn't do.
Yeah.
So I think he's got to work with the supervillains to escape.
Yeah, and take on some of the supervillains. I think that it's called Supermax Actual Prison. It's kind of like an Arkham Asylum.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
cool.
And it sounded so cool. I can't remember who was tied to direct that, but I heard about them. I thought that was so cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, tell me that's not, with the success of Arrow, that's not a $500 million movie there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, instead of giving us Batman and Robin, you could have gave us Supermax.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
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 Cool. Talking a little bit about that DC thread.
Yes, all right. So DC stands for Detective Comics. Definitely cool. Decidedly crazy. I can't come up with anything else to DC. So we got the runtime of Batman v Superman. Now, before I go on talking about Batman v Superman, last episode, it may have seemed like I was being overly critical of this genre-bending masterpiece, that I think it will be. I don't think... We're just playing a hypothetical scenario. I don't think it's going to flop. I don't think it's going to be bad. So I just want to get it out there in case, because we were just playing a game, people.
Fanboy remorse. Did I really say that?
I know. I listened to it, because I'm a student of their craft, and I'm always making notes, ways to improve myself, and that's one thing I said. Stop making fun of. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, this movie is 2 hours and 31 minutes. It's going to be the longest superhero film since The Dark Knight Rises. Thoughts? That's a long runtime.
Yeah, don't buy the extra large Coke or whatever.
Yeah. I'm buying a catheter. I don't care.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. Because there's so much to explain in this movie, right? We have Batman, we have cameos or appearances from Aquaman to the Flash, Wonder Woman. There's so much to cover. We already know that they're going to fight Doomsday at the end, right? And then we already know, obviously, Batman and Superman are going to fight at least 2 times.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense for a 2 hour and 30-minute run.
Yeah, and as long as it's a nice brisk. I don't want it to feel like it's 2 hours and 30 minutes. I want it to sit there and be like, okay, we're through the first 2 hours, and if I hadn't looked at my watch, I'd be like, oh man, there's only half an hour left,
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that it doesn't feel that, and I don't think it will, particularly the first hour and a half. I think it's going to go by really swiftly.
Yeah.
And if they can continue that momentum through the back half of the movie, and even getting into probably the Doomsday fight at the end and the introduction of Wonder Woman in a fighting style and stuff like that, I think that this will feel like a really swift 2 hours and 31 minutes. Because if we get, bogged down in dialogue and exposition, and, if they do kind of a big sequence of the Wayne parents dying and stuff like that, they can, if they're dragging it out, or if they're kind of smashing this together in a way where it's a bit disjointed, it needs to be like a very continuous and well thought out 2 hours and 31 minutes.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a movie that long, we'll see. I'm sure it's going to be great.
Oh yeah, like Dark Knight Rises, that flew by for me. I mean, it gets a lot of hate online, but that's my favorite Nolan Batman film. So, I was just so enthralled by that movie. Like, I was like, oh my God, like what's going to happen next? And the stadium blows up and, it was just awesome. I kind of have a sense of that. Continuing on with DC, we talked a little bit about Justice League may be in trouble. No, not quite. Because it's just been revealed that Justice League is going to be filming in April.
Awesome.
That's excellent news.
Did they put a date?
April... Oh, let's just make up a date. I think it's April 11th.
No. Like a year.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Oh, okay.
This year?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Oh, they're filming this year.
Yeah, they're filming this
okay,
year.
okay,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, the only thing that's kind of weird is because Wonder Woman's still filming. So maybe it'll wrap up within a month's time or 2 months' time. But yeah, I'm super excited. And Zack Snyder is attached to direct, so he's coming back. We're going to get his vision, whether you like it or not. They're just going to stick with it. And as we said, I think that's the right move. It'll feel like a cohesive trilogy by the time this thing wraps up. And
he can handle a big movie like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
He definitely. Like Watchmen and 300, I could totally see him pulling that
I'm
off.
hoping that by part 2, though, we're not seeing fatigue in his directing. Because he'll put, 3 years in a Batman versus Superman at least. He's going to put 3 or 4 probably into these Justice League movies.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't start to be like, I need to do something different. Take a break. Because we saw that in Age of Ultron with Joss Whedon, is that he was exhausted at the end of this, and you could feel that in Age of Ultron. He's putting some of that feeling and that angst into the movie. And, at the end, he was like, I'm happy to be done.
Poor guy.
Because he did right from Avengers, and then he consulted with Marvel right through, and he, had impact on,
S.H.I.E.L.D. even.
He wrote S.H.I.E.L.D., the pilot and all that, and he had influence on Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, all that kind of stuff. And by the end of Age of Ultron, he's like, I'm done. So I'm hoping we don't get that from Snyder. It was like, he bit off way more than he can chew.
Exactly.
And maybe, this, but I'm not saying that, I know we kind of, hit at this sometimes a bit. But
what do you mean?
Sometimes it's because it's one of those low-hanging fruits. So. But, I'm sure it'll be fine. But that's one of my concerns is that we end up with him getting a bit tired of this.
Yeah.
No fanboys are going to tweet him angrily, right?
Yeah. Stay off Twitter for a year.
Yeah. Speaking of
civil.
Speaking of Twitter, talk about Jeff Johns tweeting out. I don't have the exact tweet. I should really do a lot more of this research for these things. But he said, Patty Jenkins' take on Wonder Woman. Something to the fact that's similar to Richard Donner's on Superman with her style, and it's a lot more fun and action-oriented. You think that's the right move to make Wonder Woman more lighthearted and get away from the Snyder, the Snyderverse, set this movie kind of in its own separate entity.
Yeah, I think so. Like, they have to set it apart in some way, because tonally this is going to be very different than a Batman or a Superman, particularly with the kind of more gritty universe that we have. So taking this into something lighthearted, and it's hard. At times, it's hard to make a World War I movie that's lighthearted.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But, maybe as we progress through time, we see some comedic chops there from the characters. And even Chris Pine, he can be quite funny. He has been in some comedies before and stuff like that. So he might be a good character for her to play off of.
Yeah, and they announced Etta Candy, who used to be Wonder Woman's sidekick, and I think in the New 52, she's Steve Trevor's secretary. So that's one of the actors from The Office, the secretary, but not Jenna Fisher from The American Office, which is the better Office. Just saying, England, what are you going to do about that, huh?
Not listen to us.
Just listen to us at tea time.
It's tough to say, though, how this could turn out, because we don't know anything about this movie, right?
No.
We've barely had any dialogue from Gal Gadot or Dot or whatever you want to say. So it's really hard to tell what direction they use, whether it'll work or not, right?
Yeah.
And she also doesn't have the benefit, and this is an issue too with Captain America going into Avengers, is that she doesn't have the benefit from fan reception.
Exactly.
Because we haven't seen her on screen yet. So they're going to be through the production of the majority of this movie when we finally see what fandom thinks of her portrayal of Wonder Woman. And if it's something that they don't like, they don't have the opportunity to change that.
Exactly.
And so that's a bit of the issue with doing these right at one on top of another. Yes, you do need to get these out, but there's no way to kind of tweak the performance if there's something in particular, if there's a costume issue, because we saw that coming out of Avengers, right? Big issues with Captain America's costume. And now it's one of the best costumes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that was tweaked. So they had that advantage of going into Winter Soldier. They could make the modifications and stuff like that. Whereas this, they don't have that opportunity. No. Right. So there's going to be, I think, a little, and same with even Justice League. If they're shooting it already, they're not going to have that opportunity. And so the reception of Batman and Superman, they might be doing some on-set kind of rewrites or retakes, or maybe like we were seeing from Batman vs Superman, we're seeing Batman push to the forefront a bit more in the trailers, at least. Maybe we'll see Batman push forward, or who's ever received the most by the fans. They're going to be maybe propelled a bit forward in this Justice League movie. So,
what's your guys' take on the destruction? I know that was one of the feedbacks from Man of Steel. People really didn't like the fact that Metropolis got destroyed, yet they had no problem with other big cities getting destroyed in previous superhero movies. I thought it was kind of an odd nitpick that got thrown on Man of Steel. To me, I don't really care. It's a movie. Comic books are always about these big world-building events. And so, Man of Steel showed that. Like, that's what it would be like if two Kryptonians went at it.
That's it, yeah. For me, I liked it a lot. I mean, people have to understand that Clark Kent was Superman for one day. He just donned the tights. Right? It's his first big battle, and he's taking on a guy that has the same powers as him. It's not like he's saving a cat up a tree. So this is like a really, really big situation, a crucial moment in his career as Superman. So when people are complaining about Metropolis being blown up and this and that, they have to understand it's the guy's first day on the job. I
mean, we sat here and we raved about Man of Steel, and I feel like Batman vs Superman is going to have the same sort of praise and feedback. I think it's going to be one of those movies kind of split down the middle.
Yeah.
Like, what's your take on Watchmen? I mean,
Loved it.
yeah,
Yeah, it
me
was
too.
good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it too.
Watchmen.
Yeah.
I didn't have a huge background on Watchmen.
Neither did I.
When I watched it,
Yeah.
but I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was some of the costumes and stuff like that. I think I could have appreciated them more if
Yeah.
I had read the comics and understood
sure.
the lore behind
For
it.
sure.
Because I
Absolutely.
kind of got into it, and I was kind of like, I don't fully understand the costumes and stuff like that. And the dude walking around with his junk hanging out.
Manhattan.
Yeah, so weird, right?
Yeah,
But-
but it was great. I really liked the twist at the end. I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, how they had to kind of change a little bit. There's an octopus,
Yeah.
which makes sense why they had to get rid of that.
Right? People were hating on that. They're like, why didn't you stick with the comics?
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I
like,
think it was a great way to end the
and
movie.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Made a lot of
You didn't want to
sense.
see a Godzilla-sized octopus.
it wouldn't have fit in
Yeah,
with the
it wouldn't fit
movie.
in.
Yeah.
No.
Not at all.
No.
And a breakout role I thought was what's the character's name that wears the fedora and the jacket? He has like the weird mask.
Oh, Rorschach.
I
Yeah.
thought he was brilliant.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I thought he's like a Wolverine kind of
Yeah.
character. He was awesome.
Yeah. Were you surprised by the reception of that movie? It didn't even make back its budget. I think.
Again, it's funny because again, that's one of Zack Snyder's top movies, and
Yeah.
people, like you said, either hate him or love him.
Yeah.
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 I think the last movie of his to make back his budget, besides Man of Steel, was 300.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 That was a good movie.
That was
Oh, excellent
huge.
movie,
That was
right?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it had what's his name in it? Xerxes. You know the guys from Love Actually?
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
We should have a Love Actually podcast. I love that movie, actually.
Thump.
Let's see. Do I have anything more in my notes about Wonder Woman? Oh, yes. Before we get on to that, producer Tim is egging me on. What are your guys' box office predictions for Wonder Woman if it's done well? I mean, we've never had a well-done female-led superhero movie. We've had some that were god-awful, like Elektra, Catwoman, Supergirl. Just some of the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
But, if this is the first well-done female-led superhero, and, in my opinion, the most popular female superhero, especially at DC, we could debate who's more popular, but, let's just assume for argument's sake it's Wonder Woman.
For sure. Yeah.
What does this make? If it's excellent film, what are your guys' predictions?
Opening weekend?
Opening weekend and total worldwide gross.
Oh, this is a tough one because I haven't seen any marketing. Or, I mean,
it's hard to say, but
If she's well received in Batman vs Superman, it's going to do 100 million plus opening weekend.
yeah.
And globally, it's probably going to be up in the 300 to 400.
yeah.
I would say. I don't know how well received she'll be internationally.
Tough.
That's kind of what I'm going to pick it
Yeah.
at.
I'm gonna go 85. 85 for now.
Okay.
For now, you know what though? I know we haven't had any great female leads, but Hunger Games. I know it's
Yes.
not a superhero movie, but Katniss Everdeen.
Yeah,
absolutely.
She's great.
Yeah.
She's great. So going off that kind of track record, maybe you can knock her socks off. So
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your prediction?
I'd say I just wrote down 600 million worldwide
Right.
in terms of box office gross. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
a
we'll
big
come
movie.
back in 2 years.
We'll see.
Well, it's interesting. What did Hunger Games do? Probably something similar.
Oh,
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah,
Hunger Games.
yeah.
Hunger Games has been huge.
And I don't even know what the production budget of this, but it can't be too much.
120, 130 million probably.
Well, how much does it take to make something with 1940s technology or 1920s technology?
Yeah, but it's a lot of set production and
Yeah.
design and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of
And
extras.
promoting, they're gonna have to put in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're
Yeah.
looking at $200 million probably to promote it.
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna make a crossover with Wonder Bread? Wonder hot dogs?
Someone needs you on a marketing team.
She bites into a Wonder Bar. A Wonder Bar, guys. Wonder Bar. Wonder Bar. All right.
She could have the Wonder Bra promotion.
Yeah.
All these wonderful ideas, guys. So, wrapping up with our DC talk, we thought our new to nerd, we would talk about rebirths or reboots.
Yes.
Because don't call this new thing from DC a reboot. Jeff Johns will say, no, sir, it's a rebirth.
He's really wagging his finger, so you just can't see
Finger
that.
just hit me in the face.
He said finger. So, we talked about this a little bit earlier. DC tweeted out the image of the curtain with the words rebirth. And then it said, it's not a reboot, and it never was. but it's a reboot.
Yeah.
Guess what?
It's not a reboot though. It's renumbering, isn't it?
It's a relaunch, I guess. So renumbering, because they're not. I don't think they're giving us any origin stories. They're not telling us how Batman became Batman. How
But is it pulling through the same continuity as exists right now?
Do we know?
So what I've heard is they're going to have a 80-page special issue coming out May 25th.
80 pages.
Written by Jeff Johns, and the opening line is, "I love this world, but there's something missing."
Yes, that's right. I heard about that.
Yeah, and I think that's talking about DC's heritage. I mean, with the New 52 relaunch, all that stuff got wiped out. So, the first Flash, the first Green Lantern, that's all on Earth 2. That's no longer, taking place on this one Earth, and then they inspire the next generation of heroes. And then in the 90s, we saw a whole bunch of new heroes where we got a new Green Lantern, we got a new Flash, we got, Robin becoming Batman, we got Superboy, we got like a third wave. So you had this lineage that, with the New 52, it just wiped all of it out.
Yeah, it is weird though, because like some parts it did, some parts it didn't. Like if you were reading Batman pre-New 52, it just worked all the way through, and it just carried right over to New 52. Dick Grayson was still Batman, and yada yada yada. But if you read other comics, it just wiped it out. It was inconsistent with all the other 52 issues they had.
Yeah.
So do you think they're going to be bringing back some of the old continuity and trying to weave it into the current continuity, or is it going to be two different lines?
Yeah.
That's the thing. They kind of tried to do that in the New 52. A weird thing is, with the relaunch, they're renumbering everything except for Detective Comics and Action Comics. So Action Comics and Detective Comics going in pre-New 52 were at 904 and 881. When they come back now with this rebirth, 934 and 957.
Yeah.
Right? So Detective Comics and Action Comics, which were the first comics of DC, those guys are going to be continuing that, I don't know if it's continuity, but the numbering at least, from pre-New 52.
Yeah, I think that's the right idea. I mean, those comics have been going on since what, like
37, 38, 1938?
Yeah, and for them to go back and renumber it as number one again, that was a huge deal.
Yeah,
so for them to go back,
Yeah, sorry, they should never.
They're just going to work towards an issue 1000.
Oh, that's going to be a huge
2
seller.
years, probably within 2 years, eh?
Yeah.
1000.
So it'd be interesting to see what comes out of this, because I'm hoping that it doesn't get more complicated. I'm not a DC reader or anything like that, but I'm talking about like adding in or bringing back that old continuity and trying to weave it together, or having, or are they going to have two different streams where you have kind of similar? I'm going to bring this to kind of a Marvel comparison, like an Ultimates line and a 616 line,
right.
And we're having these two running in parallel that are two separate universes, but telling different stories with this relatively similar characters,
Which they kind of did, right? Like Earth 1 and Earth 2 was kind of like you had this guy and you had that guy, kind of like the Ultimates and the 616, right? Did you read Convergence?
Yes, I did, yeah.
That big deal. And so did that clear up things more? Did it make it more of a mess?
I think at the end, did you read it?
Not so much, no.
So at the end, I can't remember what happens, but something happens, and then all of DC's history and continuity is back.
Right.
So it's all included. So, everything matters.
So they've already done that.
Because Superman from that universe is now living in the New 52.
That's right,
but
yeah.
He's like kind of like undercover, low-key with Lois.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it really confuses me.
Yeah.
I think when people really suck their teeth into the New 52 and they got kind of an idea of what was going on, they just hit us now with this rebirth and we're like, okay, what's going on? Like, we just got this world, so...
Do you think, it'd be cool if they kind of went back to the 40s and reintroduced these characters again and then built it up? You think that'd be a good idea, or you think that'd just be a terrible idea?
I think it'd be tough because with so much technology now, it'd be kind of tough. Because that's the problem with Marvel's 616 and the Ultimate Universe. I mean, Ultimate Universe was made to be modern day, and then 616 was meant to stay here, and then eventually 616 got modern, and like, well, why do we need two of these worlds?
Yeah, it's like a sliding time scale, or at least it was, the 616 is kind of everything kind of just moved on this relative scale. So like all the origins were the same, but they were just, instead of being here, they were kind of slid up to the future a bit.
Yeah.
And
they kind of do that already, though, with like the origins. Like, Batman originally took place in the 40s, and they shifted up to the 70s and the 80s.
Exactly.
It's like The Simpsons. Like, how many times do they have to tell like the story of like Bart and Lisa's birth? It started in like the 80s and went to the 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah. I just hope there's no more relaunches after this. I just want us to get up to an issue 600 and be.
I mean, this made up to 52, but
yeah,
when's the next comic that's going to reach 100?
Right?
Yeah.
Never.
Never. Right?
Yeah. Well, there's two things that are kind of interesting about this. One is they're going bi-monthly with a lot of their books. Is that a good strategy?
No, I think that's too expensive.
No. Well, they did lower the price though, so
Yep.
it's like $3 now instead of $4.
That's right.
But it doesn't really work out because now you're paying
$6 a month as opposed to
Yeah.
4 or whatever.
exactly.
And that's a lot of stories too, a lot of books. And so if
Yeah.
you're doing that for multiple comics,
Yeah.
Yeah.
is it just bi-monthly until they get, maybe to issue 10? And then
I think so. They haven't announced it yet, but there's no way you can continue this.
No.
With the writers, I mean, even picking it up, one thing I don't like about it shipping bi-monthly is, say I'm reading Superman, so that's 2 books I'm getting. Back when it was, the New 52 and it was once a month, I could take a chance. Because, okay, I'm getting Superman, but let's see what Supergirl's about.
Yeah.
And that's what I did with the New 52, and it really got me into Suicide Squad, it got me into Aquaman, Batgirl, Wonder Woman, Green Arrow.
That's a good point.
All these different characters that, frankly, I had no idea about any of them.
Yeah.
And now with the New 52, I was like, okay, well, it's issue 3. I'll just pick up 2 other books, and I'm caught up already.
Exactly.
Yeah?
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about that. I don't know, but the only thing I really, really like is we get Nightwing back in costume. I guess.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
kind of cool. But yeah, I hear you completely with that bi-monthly
Yeah.
going on there.
So, Tim, we talked about this. DC...
I'm not doing bi-monthly DC books. I'll tell you that right now.
Now's your chance to get into Batman.
So Troy and Tim, I'm going to read out. So there's coming out June, July, August, and I think fall. They say fall, so I assume that's September. The one thing is they are staggering this. So the June, there's maybe 8 comics, and then that's it for the month. So they're bi-monthly, and then July you get a whole another schwack of comics. So I'm just going to quickly read out some of these comics, and you guys say yay or nay. Okay? June Rebirth specials. Oh, I'll just read out. Okay, so they're all getting, actually, that's another thing too, a Rebirth #1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that.
So maybe it'll be like a retelling of maybe their origin, kind of like
Yeah.
an issue 0.
Like they did with the New 52, right?
Yeah. It's a good idea, get you into the book.
Yeah.
So I'll be reading out the new issues, shipping twice monthly, and you guys tell me yay or nay if you're going to be picking it up or if it interests you. Okay, ready? Aquaman.
Nay.
Yay.
Nice. Batman.
Maybe.
Yay.
Oh, you got a maybe. What would it take for you to read Batman? Let's just throw it out there. Put the cards on the table.
I will read, and we will review the Batman series.
Awesome. You heard it here
Yeah.
first. You know what happened? Kevin Feige's going to come in. He's going to send you like a shit ton of like Marvel books and be like, never join the dark side, Tim.
You want these
I'm
Hot
fine
Toys?
with that. If that's the case, I'm reading all DC.
He's throwing out his Marvel allegiance. You heard that first, Kevin Feige. We got him on the dark side now. All right, The Flash.
No.
Yes.
I'm a maybe. Green Arrow.
No.
No.
No. Green Lanterns?
No.
So it's
Maybe.
Green Lantern. So this will be kind of like a Guardians of the Galaxy-esque.
Oh, so this is going to kind of be like the Green Lantern Corpse?
I think so, yeah.
Core? Sorry, Core or Corpse?
Corpse.
Corpse?
Yeah.
Isn't corpse like a dead body?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yes, it is, but
Superman.
Yes.
no.
I'm ready to get back on Superman. I've been off it for a while.
Okay.
New 52, his powers are kind of changing. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been giving him new powers constantly. I've been doing the Action Comics and the New 52 run of Superman since John Romita Jr. took over.
Yes, right?
Yeah, and it was start off cool, and now it's kind of been a little flaky.
What's okay? I want to get your opinion on this. What is the blockbuster Superman book? Are you more of is Action Comics the flagship title for Superman, or is it Superman?
I'm leaning more towards Superman.
Right.
Just like Tim and I discussed before, I'm really into art. I love the art on comic books, and the art lately has been a little too shaky for me. I can't even really keep up with it.
Yeah.
John Romita Jr., man.
But I know people have mixed feelings with John Romita Jr. I'm a big John Romita Jr. fan. Just butchered that name again. But yeah, I'm going with the Superman series. But I think, are we getting a couple Superman books now coming up? So we got Superman, the Superman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Action Comics, Detective Comics.
No.
No.
But Detective Comics, yeah, I guess, because Snyder's going to be on there.
He actually
right?
denied that. He said, I have bad stories to tell, not necessarily Detective Comics.
Oh, boy.
And he's working with Greg Capullo. I think they're going to do the first event of this. Maybe there'll be like the event.
All right.
Yeah.
And I heard they're doing something else outside of Marvel and DC.
Oh, okay. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Okay, I got an idea here. I'm going
Okay.
to throw it out there. June, when this comes out,
Yeah.
I'll read all of the issues that you guys are reading.
Oh, wow.
And we'll do a whole episode and talk about it.
Okay. That sounds
Wow,
good.
that's
You heard it
huge.
first.
Okay.
That's huge.
So we'll start just with June, though.
Okay.
Cool,
We'll leave it
fair
at June. We'll go through the July when that stuff comes out because we're running out of time here. But I just want to say one thing. Jeff Johns was asked, is this going to make the comics more like the movies? And we kind of discussed that earlier. And he said no. He said, that's boring. If you want to watch the movies, go to the movies. If you want to read the books. Would he ever lie to you? This is not a rebirth, Tim. And it never was.
I think the sole purpose of this whole relaunch is to tie it a little bit more with the movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. How could you not, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Especially if we talked at length about that. Should we go on into our Oscar predictions?
I think so. Let's get there. Let's.
Do you have your tuxes on, guys? Tim, what are you wearing today?
I look at a Marvel t-shirt. I always wear.
Troy's rocking the Armani suit there, and
try to fit into my high school prom tuxedo.
We should all wear like blue tuxedos or something.
No, so it's that time of year. We're getting all sorts of award shows and stuff like that, honoring the movies of 2015, the movies that were 2015.
Yeah.
And, the Academy Awards, or the Oscars, or whatever you want to call them, they're often regarded as kind of your highest award, the most prestigious movie award.
The Super Bowl of awards.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's a major spectacle. And I quite enjoy that spectacle. But I always find myself kind of walking away being kind of like, why didn't Star Wars win everything? And it's interesting because this year the Academy Awards, like other years, is kind of marred with controversy.
Yeah.
We're having this real accusation that we're not seeing any sort of diversity. What do you guys think of that? Do you think it's justified, or because this is a body essentially evaluating and giving these awards to their peers? Do you think that's kind of, these people are being a bit hypocritical on themselves or within themselves? That, how can you, if you're voting for stuff like this, or is there an institutional problem with the Academy? And this is something that they have tried to address this year in by tweaking some of the rules as far as becoming a voting member and how long you can be a voting member and stuff like that. So what are your thoughts?
Sorry, I'm just going to say, this isn't anything new. I mean, if you go back maybe like 30, 40 years, we had a man, Ben Kingsley, who did an amazing portrayal of Gandhi, but he won an Oscar dressing up as a brown man, as a white man. Like, you couldn't have found any other brown actors in India to portray Gandhi. He's literally the only thing we got, and you had to make a white man portray him? Like, that's just my tangent. I'm sorry, I had to throw it out there.
But you have to think, that was 40 years ago, so we have not progressed at all in 40 years.
That is bad,
yeah.
And, it's to the point where people, like, good actors are boycotting this thing. Whether it's right or wrong or whatever, as far as them boycotting it, I agree that there needs to be some diversity or some way to instill diversity into this. Because, one of my favorite movies of the year is Straight Outta Compton. It didn't get a nod for Best Picture or anything like that. It did get original screenplay, which is, something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Will Smith got apparently snubbed.
Idris Elba from Beast of No Nation.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's necessarily a race thing or if that was just a Netflix thing.
Yeah.
It did get a theatrical release, right?
Yeah.
It didn't get a theatrical release.
It
didn't.
didn't.
So
it's
if
just exclusively Netflix.
Yeah, if it doesn't get a theatrical release, it doesn't qualify for Best Picture.
That's what I thought, but then there's documentaries that are Netflix based. The Amy.
So I don't know if that's different for document. It might be slightly different rules for
what I have to
documentaries.
imagine. But I don't necessarily know if it's a huge race thing going on, because if you go to 2014's Oscars, very diverse, right?
Yeah.
It's very mixed.
So it's a very difficult thing.
It's hard to say, right?
And it's a touchy subject, particularly in America right now, right? As far as race relations and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's it's elevated because of the atmosphere in the States right now, or if it's actually an issue. So one of the ways they're trying to quell this problem is they've instilled these different rules on how you can become a voting member, stuff like that. So you have to be active in film, and then you get kind of 10 years of voting. If you get 3 consecutive 10 years of voting, you get membership for voting of all time. Or if you won an Academy Award, you can vote for all time. But what it seems like they're doing is maybe there's like kind of this large group of old directors or actors and stuff like that are still voting for these movies amongst this kind of 6,000 person body.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're voting for movies that maybe, they don't see that diversity or anything like that. So I don't know, maybe have a lot of old school thinkers in there. So I don't know. It's a really touchy thing to talk about. But it's something that continually rears its head, particularly with these awards.
You brought up Straight Outta Compton, and I think it's just more of a generational thing. Because if you look at a movie that's similar but a little bit older, Walk the Line with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
You know, it's another musical biopic, but it featured the music of Johnny Cash.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the people who are voting know more about Johnny Cash and his music
Right.
as opposed to NWA.
Yeah, Easy and Dr. Dre.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I don't think it was, in this case for Straight Outta Compton, I just think maybe like a lot of people, who don't appreciate the genre of rap music, maybe, that's just them not getting it. Whereas like a movie like Walk the Line, you get, those voters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love them both, like Johnny Cash and NWA.
But I mean, like even going like if you go to last year, Alejandro won for best director, I believe.
Yeah.
Right.
Damn you, Birdman!
And then going even before that, you have I forgot the actress's name that voiced Mascatana.
Yeah.
She won for best supporting in 12 years.
12 Years Slave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I think best screenwriter, he's African American as well.
Oh, okay.
I could go on a little bit, but I mean, it's just I don't know. I don't know if I completely buy into it. There's definitely issues in Hollywood being whitewashed.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched Pan the other day, and they had Mooney Rar. She played Tiger Lily in Pan.
Oh, really?
Everybody knows Tiger Lily is indigenous, so
Yeah.
there's some whitewash that goes on in Hollywood for sure.
Look at that new Egypt movie. It's like all white actors.
That's awful.
Yeah, enough said right there.
Yeah, right?
But moving on to some of our predictions here, The Revenant leads the way with 12 nominations.
Yes.
One of the big surprises was Mad Max Fury Road. We spoke a little bit about that earlier.
Yeah.
That's got 10 nominations, which is awesome to see recognition of something even this genre style.
Yep.
And with the violence and stuff like that in it. And it's, quite a twisted movie at times. But it's
Yeah.
getting the recognition.
Yeah.
George Miller's getting that recognition
For sure.
for the best picture.
Yeah.
And, it's really great to see. When we're predicting these things, are we predicting what we want to win or or who we think is going to win? Because those are two very different things, right? Like if what I want to win is all the Star Wars stuff, let's say, right? Or a lot of the Mad Max stuff. But do I think that's going to take everything? Probably not. So the way I'm going to go at it is I'm going to vote for, or I'm going to make my prediction for who I think is going to win.
Right.
Okay.
Outside of my own bias and stuff like that.
Do you also want to mention who you want, so you can do your want and then think?
Yeah, I'll just can throw them both out there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good. Should we leave Best Picture to the end?
Yeah, let's pretty much start at the bottom. I'll just kind of start throwing out stuff here.
You gotta, every time, you gotta be like, and the Oscar goes to, and then open the envelope. Like the awkward chance when they really can't open
And then
it.
butcher the name like what's his name? I'm just butchering now. John Travolta.
I'll be like Steve Harvey and say the wrong one.
I'm so sorry.
Survey says... they gotta come up with a new way to like release like who wins. What would be another way that you think besides like the envelope? Is there any other cool way that you could do it? Like maybe, I don't know.
Everyone gets a free iPhone with their $1,000 baskets that they get.
Just underneath your chair, pull your iPhone and see who won.
It should be like that show. They pull the rope and then like the slime goes on the winner.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna skip over some of the kind of foreign language films.
I actually watched all foreign language films, Tim. Absolutely.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
He has a lot of Blu-rays. So
And the best foreign language film goes to
Sanjay Super Team.
No, I put that in there for best animated short. See, short film animated Sanjay Super Team.
We can go through them all. Let's start with some of the technical stuff, then we can throw those in.
Okay.
So let's talk about the sound. We'll start with.
Okay, time out. How do you determine who has the best sound editing?
Okay, so the difference between the two is your sound editing is really the sound director or whatever. It's all your it's the crowd, it's the atmosphere, it's the effects, sound effects. Like so in Star Wars, it's the laser. Yeah, exactly, that stuff.
How does that sound over the music and stuff like that?
And then with that, it's all the sounds, and then the sound mixing is the guy and how you actually hear it.
Yeah.
So at certain times, if the music's in the background, it's lower. So bad sound mixing would be if you can't hear the dialogue over the music or over some of the explosions and stuff like that. When you're looking at best sound editing, you've got Mad Max, Martian, Revenant, and you've got Star Wars and that. Star Wars is my choice because there's so much going on in that. You've got so many unique sounds. You're blending space, and you got the John Williams score in the background. So that's my choice for what's going to win best sound editing.
Is there a best score?
Yes,
Yes,
there is.
yes,
Oh,
Yeah, there is.
man. You know about this doing research business?
Okay,
so-
Your choice was John Williams for Star Wars, or sorry, not John Williams, but it was Star Wars.
Star Wars Force Awakens for
Force
best sound
Awakens.
editing. So that's
Okay.
all the sound effects and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then I'll also throw out best sound mixing. So the mixture of all that with the theme is also, I've got Star Wars too.
Cool. I go Star Wars or maybe Mad Max. I'm kind of on the fence between the two
yeah.
of those. Yeah, because again, there's a lot going on in Mad Max, and they still do a great job. Even though I definitely like Star Wars more as a movie. Yeah.
Whoa, he's throwing down the gauntlet. Let's vote right now. Mad Max or Star Wars? You know I'm going to lose this, but
100%.
even I know I'm going to lose this. All right, I'm going to say Star Wars then, just so you guys don't hate on me. And
Right.
Don't invite me back.
That's for both.
Absolutely.
All right.
That one sound with the Millennium Falcon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just a lightsaber.
Yeah.
I'm going to say generic Star Wars terms, and hopefully people understand what I'm talking about.
Millennium Falcon, Han, Chewie, Starbucks, no Star Wars.
All right.
Is there a Star Wars Starbucks crossover? Like
Yeah,
that?
there's Jabba's. You can get Jabba's from.
Okay, you?
Really?
Sorry, no.
Oh,
See?
The other Jabba, right? I mean,
All right, sticking with the sounds, we'll go to best original song.
oh, okay.
So talking about songs, so original song is something that was written specifically for the movie.
Right.
And so that's, they had the Spectre song a few years ago,
Yeah.
and a lot of these are, seemingly tie in. You kind of either played usually at the start or at the end of the film,
Right.
and they have to be played within the film somewhere to be nominated.
Right.
so
okay.
does it have to be? It has to be played in the film, but does it have to be just for that one movie? Like
Yeah,
the Star
it has
Wars,
to be
like-
written specifically for. So like 8 Mile had that 8 Mile song written specifically for the film, and it's played in the film.
Right.
So is that why there was no nominations for Straight Outta Compton, because those weren't written for the
Yeah.
film?
Yeah,
So
they
they're-
weren't original.
yeah.
They weren't original. I guess at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
They should just change one word to make it original.
yeah.
Coming straight out of Compton in the theaters. That's the worst rap you're ever gonna get.
So we got nominations from movies like 50 Shades of Grey, The Hunting Ground, and Spectre. And my choice for this is The Writing on the Wall for the Spectre movie. This was Jimmy Napes and Sam Smith wrote this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm
it's
a
a
huge
really good song.
Sam Smith
Yeah,
fan, so.
and so that's my choice for
Yeah,
that.
same here.
I'm gonna go 50 Shades of Grey, just so that whenever you see the DVD or the Blu-ray, it'll say Oscar winner on it.
Is that Ellie Goulding that did the 50 Shades?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that actually was a good song. Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Cool.
We're just gonna say it. Yeah. If she wants to come in here and contradict us, she can come on the Nerd Room if she wants. But
Yeah, for open invitation.
we're calling you out, Ellie Golden.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go into kind of more of the effects thing. We're going to talk about production design, visual effects,
Nice.
stuff like that. So visual effects, things that are actually on the screen. So the green screened in, something that's made, we're putting a little density into the frames of the film. So it's interesting because Mad Max, a lot of practical effects
Yes.
in the movie itself. And it's nominated for best visual effects. And among that, we have The Martian. So we have kind of a lot of the effects, giving us the atmosphere, the feel of Mars itself.
Yeah.
And we also got Star Wars, The Revenant, Ex Machina, another
okay,
great
cool.
film
Yeah.
with fantastic visual effects in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to let my bias show through here a little bit.
Let me guess.
I'm taking Star Wars here.
Yeah.
I think how they created and how they blended the practical and the visual effects here almost seamlessly.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I'm giving this best visual effects, because I don't see, at times that Maze Katana isn't actually there.
Right.
When you're looking at kind of how it's shot, where it's shot, I can't tell sometimes if they're actually on location or if they're sitting in a studio in London somewhere.
Yeah.
And I really like that. And, I'd love to give this to, say, The Martian, but I don't think the complexity in the shots are there as compared to Star Wars.
Right.
And Mad Max, if there was a best practical effects category, Mad Max would be the one I'd give it to.
Right.
So, what are you guys saying?
There's no Winter Soldier, eh?
That was last year, I
That's
think.
2014.
Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry, not Winter Soldier. Age of Ultron. I guess that they didn't nominate
No.
that. Eh?
Wow.
Crazy. I'll have to go with Star Wars 2, although there were a couple points that took me out of the film. Snoke a little bit, kind of looked a little funny, in my opinion, and so was that weird monster tentacle thing.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of took
Oh,
me out
yeah.
a
Yeah.
little bit.
That was a little weird. That didn't feel like it was part of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I would have maybe gone Martian, because with not practical, those kind of effects, I actually kind of go for the ones that look so well that I don't even notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I'm going with Star
Yeah,
Wars
that's a good
here.
point about The Martian, though. It's like, maybe, and like I said, it wasn't as complex, but maybe that benefited, or maybe it was done so well.
So well, you don't
Yeah.
notice, right? Yeah, which is really cool.
What are you saying, Sanjay?
Well, it's funny, best special effects. Last year, I actually like the movies in the best special effects category infinitely better than in the best movie category. Because we had, I think, Winter Soldier got nominated, X-Men got nominated. What was the other big one that got nominated?
Planet of the Apes, I think?
Yeah, Planet of the Apes.
Which looked great.
Yeah, and there's the other, what was the big superhero movie last year? 2014. Oh, Guardians, I think, got nominated as well. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think so. I'm just going to assume it did.
It's a big category, and that's where a lot of these are going to sit, because a lot of these movies, like, particularly the comic book movies, they're quite heavy visually.
Yeah.
Because we're getting kind of these extreme characters and stuff like that. And I think Avengers must have been, I don't know if it was, but the Hulk must have got nominated at some point.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it did, but...
Yeah.
And the Oscar goes to, I just want to hear someone butcher this name. Ex Machina?
That's a good choice. That's a good choice.
You know, it's one of those films that kind of flew under the radar, but I think it's going to really, like, do well with repeat viewings and being on Netflix. She's going to take off.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, let's move on to best production design.
Cool.
So this is basically your sets, how it actually looks, the decor, the props. So if we're talking about a 1940s period piece, it's looking at the cars and the shop signs and the street signs and all that kind of stuff. And it's that attention to detail that you're going to give. And, it's some of this is, with some of these movies like Mad Max Fury Road, we're projecting ourselves to this like dystopian future.
Yeah.
And it's, taking something, if we're looking at a 1940s, you do have, visual cues and stuff like that from the past. So you have something to go off of. But with something with Mad Max, this is completely the set design itself.
Yeah.
The art director is taking this and, with a team, presumably, and actually designing this. So that takes a lot more effort sometimes than actually taking something that actually existed. So some other nominees in this category are Bridge of Spies, which is a Tom Hanks movie. So it's a period piece.
Okay.
So stepping back in there, you have The Martian again, looking again into the future to some degree and kind of advancing some of the NASA technology. The Revenant, another great movie. We'll get to if that gets Best Picture or not again. But again, we're looking at something that was, the set design was kind of nature to a degree. But again, it's the props, it's, the setting of it all.
It's filmed right outside our backyards.
To most of it.
So we're a little bit biased when we talk about the cinematography of Revenant.
So what do you guys say for production design? Where does your Oscar go to?
Production design. I like The Martian. I'm going to go with The Martian.
Oh, good choice. You can go Mad Max.
Yeah, I'm also Mad Max itself. I think that was just the way they put that together, and and the practicality of it all, and just how everything looked. I thought it looked fantastic.
Oh yeah.
All right, how about best original score? Kind of coming back to the music stuff here.
It's a different, whole different category. If you're talking about the Adult Film Awards.
Yeah. Jesus.
Best original score, and the award goes to.
Yeah. So this is basically the music you're hearing in the background as the movie's playing, and at times, or I think almost all the time, without music, you do not get the feelings that is meant to come across. As well as the actors, as well as the cinematographer does, is kind of drawing you in visually. It's really the music that keeps your attention and keeps, specifically say with a horror film, take the music out of that.
Oh yeah.
And what do you have, right? You have some gory stuff, but is it as tense, as the music, as, the inflections and stuff like that? Yeah. And so it's really, it's your score in the background, and then it's your sound editing, your sound mixing that produce a final product. But, we've got some great scores here. Bridge of Spies was great. The Hateful Eight stuff. Tarantino scores are always great. I always quite enjoy those. But I have to go back to my man John Williams.
Absolutely.
Not as strong as the original trilogy, but it had a lot of similar tone of it and the feel of it, and they're pulling a lot from that original score. So very similar kind of use of brass section and that's your flutes and stuff like that, I guess. But I'm gonna have to go with John Williams' Star Wars Force Awakens.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's not as actually, it might even be the weakest of all, because I really enjoyed the prequels score as well. But again, I'm going with Star Wars, guys.
I'm gonna go with a little known film, Sicario.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a good film. I didn't know what to expect. I watched it on, I think, Telus On Demand, and surprised.
Heard nothing but great things about that.
Yeah,
highly
Emily
recommend
Blunt
it. In that one, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're kind of all over the map here. I should have kind of maybe done these in better order, but
no.
Anyways, best costume design.
Ooh.
So we're looking again at the actual what the characters are wearing in the film. Particularly, we're looking again, is it a period piece, or is it something in the future, or is it something present day? How do the characters actually look on screen? This, I think, goes, this is combination with the next category, which is hair and makeup, which also adds to the character. But we're looking just at the physical costume. Yeah. And we've got Mad Max in here, the Revenant, Carol, Cinderella, the Danish Girl. Yeah. So, a lot of good costume designs this year. But I'm going to go with Mad Max here. Just because it's like this dystopian future and, the look of it all, I think it's just fantastic. And, it's a lot of brown, gray, earth tony stuff. So you don't get a lot of flair, but even just some of the looks of some of these, it's just fantastic, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What do you think of Sunjay?
I'm gonna go Cinderella.
Yeah,
just I don't know.
Switch it up.
Yeah, switch it up. I see that the same person's nominated for Carol and Cinderella.
Yeah.
Wow, good for her.
Yeah.
So if she doesn't win, she must really feel bad.
I didn't think he could be nominated. That's interesting. I didn't think he could be nominated for the same.
Has anyone ever been nominated for Best Actor twice?
I don't think so. I don't think you can be nominated twice for some stuff.
Interesting.
I can't remember if that's ever...
It's quite a complicated process being nominated, so I don't know exactly how you get down there.
Well, I'll tell you, because I was nominated for one award.
Right. One Oscar.
Sunjay Super Team.
Well, what are you thinking, Troy? Best costume.
I'm going to go with Mad Max, but I also kind of have Carol in there, too.
Yeah.
Wasn't really the biggest fan of the movie, but the period piece costume setting is fantastic.
You hear that, Carol? Troy's throwing you out there.
All right, how about best hair and makeup, or makeup and hairstyling?
Okay.
Yeah, so we're looking at particularly. There's only 3 nominees for this category.
Star Wars?
No.
What? Chewie didn't get nominated?
Too simple, maybe.
But his hair looks better than ever.
Yeah, right? Harrison Ford's flow?
Yeah, they took like 30 years off Chewbacca.
Yeah.
You could give that just for makeup and hairstyle there.
That's interesting. I thought for sure that would have been nominated.
No, we only got Mad Max and a movie I haven't actually heard of, The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out of the Window and Disappeared.
Oh, you
That's
haven't heard?
a mouthful.
Yeah.
Wow.
What? That's my favorite movie. That's what I'm going to vote for Best Picture.
Yeah, I've never heard of that movie.
Never heard of it.
So I don't know what it's about or anything like that.
I thought that was a synopsis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Of course I know what it's about. It's in the title. And The Revenant as well.
Okay.
So again, I'm leaning more towards the Mad Max Fury Road here. The hair in that and the makeup on some of these guys is just mental.
Yeah.
It's hilarious because like Mad Max and The Revenant, their hair just looks so disgusting.
Yeah.
They're all like greasy.
Yeah.
Just greasy.
So if you don't use shampoo, you too could get nominated for Best Hair and Makeup at the Oscars.
What do you think, Troy?
I'll go with The Revenant on that one.
Yeah?
What they do with Tom Hardy's hair, whatever's going on in there.
Yeah, it's pretty grotesque.
Yeah. I'll go with all the characters, though. I'll go with the Revenant in that one.
Okay.
All right, cool. Let's step into some of our cinematography kind of section. So, and that's really kind of the camera work. It's how the director of photography made you feel. Transitions, the way the lighting and stuff like that. It's quite important when it comes to filming.
Definitely
having a good director of photography, and I guess a lot of directors stick with their DPs throughout because they understand how they shoot. And I think it really comes down to capturing these moments in the right light and all that kind of stuff. So we have some big movies in here. Hateful Eight, Tarantino's cinematography is, the way it's done. It looks like he is very consistent with it. I don't know if he has the same director of photography all the way through, but it seems quite consistent how it's done. And I guess that has a little bit to do with the editing.
Right.
The Revenant again, Cesario, Carol, and Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
What are you guys thinking? Who's going to win the Oscar?
And the Oscar goes to The Revenant, man. Come on. It's filmed right outside our backyard.
Shot all in natural light.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
You can see me walking by in the background.
Yeah.
Have
you guys all seen The Revenant? The opening crawl in that movie. When it's like a close up on like a kind of a swamp kind of ground.
Yeah.
Just blew me away.
That's one of the best opening scenes in like a war, like a fight scene I've seen in a movie in a long time.
He captured everything. Oh wow.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of what was that movie, Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
The whole natural light shooting is quite difficult. It's something. So I had to fully agree there that I think that's the one that's going to win.
Sunniest city in Canada.
Yeah.
Take that, Edmonton.
Let's look at best film editing.
Cool.
So what is best film editing?
No, film editing. So the film editors themselves, I think they work quite closely with the director.
Yeah.
And they're essentially compiling all the scenes together. and they're kind of overlaying how things transition, what to cut.
Yeah.
And again, I think this is quite an iterative process.
Yeah.
And I think that you have a lot of influence for the director. But, a lot of this they're doing as the movie's going to make sure the scenes are flowing properly.
Exactly.
They're transitioning. So it's really compiling the whole movie together and editing it together.
Yeah, and like you get those odd scenes. It drives me nuts on TV. You'll see two people talking to each other. You'll see one person from one shot and the hair is down. And then goes the other person that comes back and her hair is back up.
Yeah.
It's just not inconsistent.
You just watched Fantastic Four, didn't you?
That is not on the list.
Can you imagine if I got nominated for anything?
No, man.
The one thing I hate about the editing, especially in horror films, is when they like jump to the next scene before your scene's ended. So you hear like this loud bang and you're still in the first scene.
Yeah.
You're like, what happened? And then they're just like, oh, someone dropped the pot. It wasn't that scary.
So nominations here include Big Short, Mad Max, Revenant, Spotlight, and Star Wars: Force Awakens.
What the heck, Spotlight?
I don't know.
Spotlight it's a movie in Boston. It deals with
Oh yes,
Yeah.
the sexual abuse from the Catholic
from the
Church.
Catholic Church. Exactly.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Mark
Yeah.
Ruffalo was in there.
Oh, okay.
And Michael
Oh,
Keaton.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Can
not
you
sure.
imagine if he just turned into Hulk and then he was Batman? just really like complex, like sad issue, and then it's just like Hulk fight Batman. I just ruined that whole movie. We can just take that whole section out, okay?
Tony Stark's dad's in there too, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Future Tim, take that whole section out.
We'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow. All right, I got the Revenant in here.
Okay.
No, I thought that was well put together.
Yeah.
As a whole. What do you guys think?
You know what? I'm gonna go with. Sorry, I gotta look at your list here. Ooh, after I just badmouth Spotlight. No, you didn't pick Star Wars.
No.
Really?
Yeah. I'm trying to predict who I think is going to win,
Right.
not who I want to win.
You really hurt Marion Brandon and Mary Jo Markley's feelings. You literally voted for Star Wars for every other award except for editing.
Because I thought they were going to win.
Like, if you're listening to this, editors of Star Wars, Tim just threw you under the bus. That one scene in Jakku, please, it could have been tightened up.
I still think the Revenant's going to win over it. I would like Star Wars to win.
I'm gonna go Mad Max.
Cool.
I'm kind of stuck between Spotlight and The Big Short. I think I'm going to go with Spotlight, though.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I think we go with Spotlight. It flowed pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
All right, let's talk about Best Adapted Screenplay.
Okay, so what's this?
Well, the Best Adapted Screenplay is a screenplay that's been, rewritten from an existing piece of
novel
literature.
of
A
some
lot
sort,
of yeah. So like The Martian was a book,
Exactly.
and then someone's taken that book and adapted a screenplay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily always take the book verbatim and actually repeat the same scenes beat for beat. It'd be like kind of we're talking about Watchmen, how they kind
Right.
of tweak things at the end.
Exactly,
yeah.
So they're adapting the material
Yeah.
to fit kind of a movie. So sometimes in a book they have the luxury of explaining stuff, a lot of exposition and going through in a lot more detail, where we don't have that same luxury
Yeah,
in a
the 2
movie.
hour
So,
frame,
yeah,
yeah.
2 hours. This thing's got to be swift. It's got to flow well. Some of the stuff can't be might be disjointed in the book, or you're losing some characterization. Sometimes they even drop out characters,
Yeah.
stuff like that, or combine several characters.
Yeah.
And so it's really who's done that the best, who's taken kind of that source material
Yeah.
and adapted it best to a film. And I don't have the benefit of going through all this and actually reading the books and comparing it to the
Right.
screenplay. But so, what are you guys thinking?
Me, I'm going to go with The Big Short.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what they did to condense, like you said, going from a book to that, they did a great job of simplifying some of those scenes and what they're
Nice.
trying to portray. So I'm going with The Big Short. Yeah.
I would love to see The Martian take this. What do you think, Sanjay?
I'm gonna go Carol.
Nice.
All right, let's talk some acting here. Let's look at Best Supporting Actress.
Best supporting actress.
Yeah, so we have Rachel McAdams in Spotlight, Rooney Mara and Carol, Kate Winslet in Steve Jobs.
Okay.
So I'm actually taking Kate Winslet here.
Yeah, same
she's,
here.
she's a big vet
Yeah.
in the Academy. Plus, she did fantastic in Steve Jobs.
Yeah. Oh, she was great at
Yeah.
Steve Jobs.
And in Titanic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Rachel McAdams because she's Canadian and was in Mean Girls.
And The Notebook.
Your favorite movie.
Favorite movie.
The female love of Troy just went way up in her podcast viewership.
All right, moving on to Best Supporting Actor. This is a pretty dense field.
Yes.
Got Christian Bale, Tom
Batman,
Hardy, Mark Ruffalo,
Bane,
Sylvester
Hulk.
Stallone.
Yeah.
Dredd?
Dredd? Who are you, Mike Rylance from Bridge of Spies? Become a superhero.
What are you thinking, Troy?
For best supporting actor, this one's really tough. Should win. Who will win? I think it's going to be Tom Hardy.
Okay.
Oh, it's tough between him and Mark Ruffalo, though. Jeez.
Who'd you like better, Bane or Hulk?
Definitely Hulk. Yeah, I think it's going to go to Tom Hardy, but it should go to Mark Ruffalo. That's how I'm going to put it, yeah.
It's funny because I'm sitting on two totally different actors.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
I think it should go to Christian Bale.
Okay, you have a picture. He's great.
I really liked him in that,
Yeah.
But I think it's going to go to Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, wow.
Adrian.
Yeah. It's tough because everybody's good. Like I even saw the Mark guy in Bridge of Spies.
Yeah.
The opening, he was incredible.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's tough.
I'm going to go with Sly just because of the redemption. I mean, you look at some of the films that he has been in the last couple of years. He's really, reinvented his career with Rocky Balboa coming out, with the new Rambo, many years ago. And then he did The Expendables. Show that he was still a bankable action star, and then appearing in Creed.
I wouldn't say bankable.
I'd bank on him. He's more
seen Expendables 3?
He's more bankable than Arnold now.
What's the other one he did with Arnold? Him and Arnold fought.
Oh,
Did they,
yeah,
or?
The Escape.
Yeah,
yeah,
in the jail or whatever.
Yeah. I have it, but I haven't seen it yet. So.
And then he did another one with De Niro.
Yes, grudge
right?
match.
Yeah.
Just a whole bunch of old people running around punching each other.
Jeez.
Just filming the old folks' home or something. I'm going to go Sly Stallone. I mean, the redemption of him. He won this award for Rocky 40 years ago. So for him to go full circle and win it again as in
You win
Creed,
Best Supporting or Best?
I think he won Best Actor.
Yeah.
For Rocky?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he got Best Actor.
Rocky 4 when he fought Ivan Drago.
Oh, yeah. The Punisher.
Yeah.
All right, before we get to Best Actor and Best Actress, let's swing to Best Animated Film.
Cool.
Let me see what we got here. So we got Inside Out, The Boy in the World, When Marina Was There. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of these.
Yeah, I've only seen Inside Out.
I think Inside Out is going to take it. No,
Is it just those three?
no, it's four
sorry.
other. I can't say some of these.
Shaun the Sheep.
Shaun the Sheep movie.
Oh, Shaun the Sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard good things.
So I haven't seen a lot of these,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but I still think Pixar usually wipes the floor with these guys.
Yeah.
So I think Inside Out's going to take this.
Oh, for sure.
Charlie Brown wasn't in there, hey?
No.
No, it wasn't in there.
Oh, yeah, Charlie Brown.
Yeah. I'll go with Inside Out. It's Pixar. They win everything.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you could say they got pixie dust. Oh,
Sure. All right, let's look up to the big category here and Best Actor.
Cool.
all right.
we got-
Let me find this here.
Bryan Cranston, Matt Damon, Leonardo DiCaprio, Michael Fassbender,
Yes.
and Eddie Redmayne.
Oh, that's
Eddie Redmayne.
yes,
Yeah.
that's the guy from what's that one? The
Theory of
musical.
Everything. And
Yeah.
he was in Les Mis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Les Mis.
Yeah.
And he's also in that horrible movie. I just forgot the name of it. It's a sci-fi movie that came out with Channing Tatum.
Oh, Jupiter Ascending.
Jupiter Ascending.
Oh, he's in that. Oh.
Oh yeah, talking about redemption.
Yeah.
All right, who do you got Best Actor, Sunjay?
And the Oscar goes to Leo. You son of a bitch! Come on up here. Don't agree with your environmental politics, but as an actor, you're pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Come on up.
I'll go with Michael Fassbender. He blew me away.
Yeah, you
Jobs.
loved it, yeah.
He just crushed that role.
Much better than Ashton Kutcher, eh?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. If only that version came out this year, it might have gone to Kutcher.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna have to go Leo, but I think this is more of a lifetime achievement
That's what I
Oscar
think.
Yeah.
than anything else.
Yeah.
You know, this guy's been nominated numerous times.
Yeah.
He's had some really good roles. I don't know if this is his best one ever,
No, probably not.
but I think it's the one he's going to win the Academy
Right,
Award for.
right.
Yeah.
And that's one of the I'm not going to say many, but one of the flaws of the Academy Awards is that sometimes we see people getting these almost these lifetime achievement awards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe at the expense of someone like Michael Fassbender,
Yeah.
For sure.
that's done a much better acting job. But this guy deserves to have something to
Exactly.
put on his mantle someday,
Definitely.
amongst his millions of
Yeah, I was
dollars.
gonna say.
yeah. No, I agree how that system works.
Yeah, but then you're always playing catch up, If you have someone who did a really good job, but maybe it was his first role, and you have the veteran, then when that young guy, when he goes up, then maybe he'll get it for maybe not as big as a role. You know what I mean? So like, I don't necessarily agree, but I think that's kind of what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, I'm still waiting for Will Smith to get his Oscar. Maybe he'll get it in Suicide Squad.
Oh, maybe.
Can you imagine?
Deadshot gets the Oscar.
That'd be the best thing ever.
All right, Best Actress. Again, another heavy field. We got Cate Blanchett, we got Brie Larson, Jennifer Lawrence. A lot of great actresses here. What do you think, Sunjay?
To be honest with you, the only person I knew was either Cate Blanchett or J-Law, so I went with J-Law. I haven't seen Joy. At first, I thought it was for Hunger Games. I'm like, oh, that's so sick, but no, it's for Joy.
Yeah, I haven't seen many. I saw Carol, and I like Cate Blanchett, but I wasn't really impressed with that role. It's like the third or fourth time I've seen her play that role. I'm going to have to go with Brie Larson. I've heard just incredible things about her. So, unfortunately, I didn't see that movie, but I've just heard she's incredible, so I'll have to go with that one.
Yeah, I got to go with Jennifer Lawrence as well. She's in Academy Sweetheart.
Yeah.
This girl, and she's a fantastic actress, right?
Yeah.
Always taking very risky and very different roles, and that's what I like about her.
She's like the new Meryl Streep. Like
yeah,
she's
exactly.
Cleaning
Very diverse roles.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think she's gonna take this for Joy.
Oh God, we're gonna get more Mystique in the new X-Men movie.
Oh, she's done, man.
Yeah,
She's way beyond
less
that.
Mystique.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the Mystique and Deadpool. Like they go on a road trip somewhere.
Yeah.
Actually, it would be an amazing movie. Go from like New York to LA.
All right, I don't think I've forgotten anything else here.
You forgot best foreign film.
We can do best foreign film and stuff like that. I've just got best director and best film
All right,
left.
Cool.
let's do it up.
Best picture, as it's called.
Yes.
So best director.
Nice.
Adam McKay, Big Short. George Miller, Mad Max Fury Road. The guy that directed The Revenant, is it Alejandro?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not going to try his last name. And the guy that did Room and Spotlight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what do you think?
I'm going with Alejandro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely going. It's going to be tough because I don't think any directors won back-to-back. He won for Birdman last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's... I think he's great.
I think he's going to win as well. I'd love to see a guy like Adam McKay take an Oscar. He's traditionally a comedic director.
Yeah.
And he's taken a real nice turn because he contributed, into comic book movies as well. He's contributed to Ant-Man from the screenplay side. And he's usually the guy that's directing Will Ferrell and the other dude running around punching each other and throwing up and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
But it's nice to see him getting a little into the drama and stuff like that, and showing some of his directing chops. But Alejandro, I think he's gonna win this thing for sure. Yeah.
He has a song by Lady Gaga too.
I'm surprised that Ridley Scott from The Martian is in here.
Yeah, that was one of the big snubs.
Right?
Yeah.
I think so.
He should have been in there.
Should've.
That is a fantastic movie. And
But who do you take out?
I don't know. I think
know.
some of these, I think you have to have like the best director, like the best picture, where you have like it's 5 for sure nominees, but it can be up to even 8 or something like that. So you can actually fit in some of these because sometimes it's hard when you're fitting in, especially when there's a lot of really good films, a lot of solid films, and you're trying to fit everything into a 5-person category. Some of these more prestigious, like the best director, best actress, best supporting actor, stuff like that. Maybe they should have up to 8, but you have to have 5. You don't always. Some years you have 6, some years you have 8, some years you have 5, and that's the way the best picture is, right? You can have up to 10, so that allows you have to have at least 5, but you can have up to 10 in the category, so that allows that expansion. That was really for the kind of the Dark Knight.
So
that was kind
Dark
of
Knight
that
rule.
was
That's right.
For best director, I'm gonna go George Miller. Really loved what he did with Mad Max, and this is the 4th film in a franchise. When was the last time the 4th film in a franchise got nominated for any Academy Award?
Yeah, that's true.
So I think he did an excellent job. He would have killed it on Justice League if he got the chance.
Oh yeah.
It's a missed opportunity there. I mean, maybe they bring him in, but I don't know. He's 75, so I doubt. Well, I don't know. He just did Mad Max, which was the most badass movie in years. So
in the crazy environment too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's my vote. Not that
right.
it matters, but that's what I voted. Oscars.
All right, now on to the big one.
Cool.
Best picture.
Yes.
We got, again, another big field here. We got Big Short, Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, Mad Max Fury Road, Martian Revenant, Room, and Spotlight.
Ooh.
Cornucopia
Cornucopia of good cinema.
Yeah,
that's tough.
You got some big names in here, too. You got Simon Kinberg, who contributed to The Martian, Spielberg, Bridge of Spies, Brad Pitt for The Big Short. George Miller, Mad Max Fury Road, all big contributors to these movies. You know, we're seeing some big names. You know, Ridley Scott again too on The Martian. I would love to see The Martian take this.
Wow,
really?
cool.
But I don't think it's going to.
Right.
No?
I think this movie, The Revenant, is going to take it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take it. Yeah, it's got a lot of love.
Yeah.
I'm saying which I think is going to win. I would like to see The Martian win.
Let's be realistic. You would like to see Star Wars win.
Yeah, I don't know why Star Wars. No, it's
That's a snub.
Yeah, it definitely is.
or even the best director. No, J.J. Abrams, right?
Yeah.
Was the original nominated?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Can't confirm that. We can
He
look it up.
confirmed it. Yeah, no, it's confirmed.
I would say, I definitely dominated visual effects forever. But
Yeah, it must have.
Yeah, there's no way if it didn't win. Can you imagine?
no, I'm not sure if the original one has. Maybe. I don't know. We have the internet, but we're going to say maybe.
Google it. Okay, so you said The Revenant?
Yeah.
Really? So this isn't your personal opinion. This is just what you think.
That's what I think is going to win.
Okay. So who did you want to win out of this list then? If you had to choose.
I just said The Martian.
No. Oh, yeah. No, but if you had to choose and The Martian was eliminated. Okay. Okay, I guess I'll go next. Best Picture. Oh, jeez. I'm going to go Mad Max Fury Road. I just can't rave enough about that movie. It's just so excellent. You know, I feel like it changed cinema. You know, it's kind of bringing it back to more of the practical effects. The story was excellent. I was on the edge of my seat. You know, movies are meant to be enjoyed and be entertaining, and this is that to the nth degree. I mean, so many times you get all these pretentious winners because, like, oh, this French silent film that's filmed in black and white, and, you know, that wins, but...
The artist.
Yeah. I didn't want to name names over here. But, yeah, so I'm going to go Mad Max. It'd be nice to see, like, a nerd movie win. The last one was Lord of the Rings, so...
That was another gimme. Best Picture.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no way, it wouldn't have won. So, Mad Max. You know, the thing is, this movie didn't do well in theaters. Say it does win Best Picture, does it get a re-release?
Probably not. It's probably just the bank on the Blu-ray sales and stuff like that.
Yeah. Blu-ray sales, what's that?
Yeah, you went over that.
Yeah, so Mad Max, that's what I think is going to win, and that's what I want to win. And that's the bottom line, because Sunjay said so.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. I want The Big Short to win.
Nice.
I love that movie very much this year, but I think it's going to go to The Revenant.
Yeah.
I think The Revenant has it on lock, but I would love to see it go to The Big Short. Yeah.
Nice.
The Martian was a standout to me too. I love The Martian. I'm not really even a big Matt Damon fan, so don't hate me, guys. But he was incredible in that movie, and the movie as a whole was great.
Yeah.
That's one of probably my outside of comic book movies.
Yeah,
that's probably my favorite movie of the year.
It was incredible.
That or Straight Outta Compton are my two.
That was great.
It was really good. It was a good year for sci-fi this year.
Yeah, there were some good.
Ex Machina, Mad Max, The Martian, Star Wars, and you got your Age of Ultron. So, you know, it's pretty happy with the sci-fi year of 2015.
It's a stacked list. Just looking at it, I'm like, wow, that's tough.
Yeah, and there's some movies missing from there too. You know,
yeah,
you could stack up there, but. It's all in all, I think it's going to be an exciting show. I'm hoping that we get some surprises.
Yeah,
you know, I felt like some of my decisions I took here were kind of like, you know, I'm going with the status quo here. What's what I think is going to win, but it'd be nice to see something jump out, particularly in some of these, you know, maybe in the best actor or the best director section. You know, so giving it to like a George Miller or something like that.
Yeah,
I think it'd be pretty cool.
Has he ever won it? I mean, he's 75.
Yeah,
no,
not for Babe, Pig in the City.
Direct that?
Yeah. What? He directed Babe and Mad Max.
Just the films you'd think about you.
The crossover's coming in 2018.
Yeah. No, so we have it all here. I'll record this all onto a piece of paper as Sunjay requested. And maybe let's put a little wager on it or something. Let's see who ends up with the most correct answers.
So whoever gets
predictions.
Well, if I did that, I would have done a lot more research.
They're gonna win, you know that, right?
And the Oscar goes to Mad Max again. 50 Shades of Grey.
All right, so
Should you put a toonie on it?
No, the next we can put a toonie if you like. A lot of people don't know this. No, I think for the wager here, let's do the next movie that three of us attend.
Yeah.
We'll go an hour before Loser Buys the Beer.
Oh, cool.
First
cool.
round,
Cool.
not all of it.
Cool.
I was gonna say,
But it can't be the beer before Batman vs Superman because
No.
it's too long.
yeah, that's right.
We have to pick something really short.
With
We're
all
going to a short film.
yeah, The Big Short. With all the comic book movies and nerd movies coming out in 2016, what is your most likely that could get a nomination? Not necessarily Best Picture, but say Best Special Effects, or even let's say Best Picture, Best Special Effects. Name one nerd movie that's coming out that you think will get nominated next year.
Rogue One special effects.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Civil War has
Civil
probably
War.
the best chance at
Yeah, I
getting.
think so.
Whoa,
Academy.
Deadpool?
No way.
Get a comedy of the Golden Globes. So.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have to go with Civil War, especially if you're going off of what Anthony Mackie said, how he says it's the better of both Captain America movies.
What if he's just saying that though, and the movie's just terrible? He's just like trolling us all.
Well, sometimes I think with those guys, they don't have to say stuff.
That's
Like they
just
don't.
it.
They don't have to. Well, they do have to promote it,
Yeah.
but they don't have to say stuff like, "Oh, I think it's gonna be the best." They can just say, "Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great movie,
That's
whatever."
true.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
And
He's kind of their hype man too,
Yeah.
though, Anthony
Yeah.
Mackie, right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember when they had the Batman v Superman going up against Civil War.
Yeah.
He was talking a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of trash.
Yeah, you
which
see the
is-
interview and
yeah.
he's talking trash about Man of Steel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, Henry Cavill's huge, man. Like, that'd be a good fight. Mackie versus Cavill? Call it right now.
Cavill would kill
They
him.
could build.
With a beard?
Yeah.
If it's,
man.
if it's
Yeah.
Superman shape,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think best special effects, Batman v Superman. Like that movie just looks amazing with all their
It
explosions and
does.
stuff.
Yeah.
If it's done right, and the way that I've played this movie out in my head, it could be the Mad Max of 2016.
Oh, I think it's gonna go past it.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna. Oh, I see what you're saying though. For effects and what it's done. though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, because Mad Max was incredible. I see what
Yeah.
you're saying.
And they started releasing some of the score of the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I think, I'm going to go on a tangent. I think Rogue One gets nominated for Best Picture.
interesting.
Yeah.
Is Hans Zimmerman doing?
Yeah, I think so.
He is doing Batman v Superman. right?
Him and Junkie XL.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool,
that guy's been doing, I think, he's got a lot of buzz around him. He's like the new young director.
Yeah, the hot new thing, eh? Yeah.
I hope he wins. It'd be hilarious to hear the Oscars. And the best sound editing goes to Junkie XL.
All right, guys. Before we set off, I just want to give a shout out to Ace 10 Bomber on Twitter. He sent me over a Finn Funko Pop
Wow.
from Force Awakens, and he also sent out the Luke Skywalker Hot Wheels car as well.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So yeah, he fired them out from out east.
That's
He knew
so
I was
cool.
minn them, and I was having a hard time finding Finn, and he got them. He sent them out for me.
I
So
guess
appreciate
now
that.
You're finished.
Yeah,
Get it? Like Finn? Finished?
Yes, I get it. Another head thing.
But
No, so it's gonna be interesting. So we got the Oscars this weekend. We'll
Yes.
see who is the victor
Cool.
and who's buying the beer.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yes, just want to say, give a huge shout out to all our listeners. I was amazed by how many listeners we actually got from our last episode. You guys have been awesome. Keep up the good work. You guys are crushing it. Really appreciate all the feedback on iTunes and stuff as well. Just can't say enough good things. If I could give an Oscar to all you out there in podcast land, I would.
Thanks so much, guys. We give an Oscar out to Sweaty Nerd for supporting us out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
On iTunes.
That's right.
Thank you so much, everyone, for getting us over 1,000 downloads. That's incredible. That's
Yeah.
great.
What are we going to do with 1,000 downloads? What are we going to do to celebrate?
We're gonna give you episode 10 on time and over 2 hours long.
Bigger, badder, and uncut.
All right, guys. It's been a lot of fun. For the Nerd Room, I'm Tim,
I'm Sunjay.
I'm Troy.
and thank you for entering the Nerd Room.
Sounded more like a cat this time.
Oh man! All right,
Cat in.
we out.